Cruising in my lane fast, call it high speed. I've been working hard, yeah, I've been working nightly. If you think you'll win, ha, not fucking likely. I be taking shots, yeah, cold-blooded, icy. Watching numbers grow is what I call sightseeing. In the front row, run it up when they hype me. The following grows, they know how to ignite me. Call me CEO, I've been running shit right, see. And I ain't playing games, I create my own lane, making pleasure out of pain, turning losses into gains. I'm the boss, I'm making change. I've been rocking this exchange, popping off and risking things. Gonna make a fucking name, I just wanna be famous. But I don't want that cheap fame, no, I'm not that vain. I just wanna be greatness. 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 Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking bite me.
To, you know, I'll sell what sells. You know, if everybody tomorrow decides they like the most woke lefty comic you could possibly imagine, they all want to see transgender Captain America dressed like Dylan Mulvaney drinking Bud Light while he's getting surgery, and the whole world says they like that. Looks like we're making covers of that.
Okay, I'm going off every chance I get. I don't really take a loss, well, I'll admit. That's why I'll make it to the top, yeah, I commit. And no, I'm never getting lost, I get after it. Investing in my own stock, cause it's faster than any crypto hits go, let me spend. Everything that you see is something I invent. And it's only a percent. I'm gonna take shots. If I miss all, forget it. I'll take a fat loss just to learn all that's in it. I'm taking snapshots, learning how to fall and get it. I'm getting back up, always stand tall, don't sweat it. I never back up, I don't miss a thing or regret it. I'm always learning, you could call me academic. I'm always working, never been apathetic. Bad energy is like a poison, needs some antiseptic. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love in myself, in my psyche. You should have the same in your brain nightly. If you wanna taste, bitch, you can fucking try me. If you wanna hate, bitch, you know where to find me. And if you go and hate this, you can fucking fight me. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can do it like me. Open up your eyes and insert a little rising. You don't have to love me, you don't have to like me. Got enough love I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase a bag. I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. Lonely now, I'll give up everything. Daunting though, if I could see my dreams, I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go, don't let go. I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always asking for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once that I so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
I'll give up everything, daunting love. If I can see my dream, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Lonely now, I'll give up everything, daunting love. If I can see my dreams, make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality. Don't let go, don't let go. I'll make things right. 'Cause I'll do anything to make what I want a reality.
What is up, everybody? This is normally where I would say what a great day this is, but doesn't seem to be turning out that way, man. We lost Ed today. That's a hard hit for a lot of people. This guy was, I would venture to say, almost indie comics personified. He has done some of the most prolific work out there. He really has. Don't believe me? Take a look at some of it here. Well, let's bring in some guests. What do you think? Let's see who we got backstage. And it is an open mic. Anybody can come on. You want to talk about Ed? Talk about some experiences you had with him. Everybody's going to be welcome. You know, come say your piece. Say hi. Offer your condolences, whatever. Let's bring in Mindy. What do you think? Welcome, Mindy.
Hello.
What is going on?
So, for Ed, I just pulled up the Wikipedia article and it said a person who has been presumed dead. And I saw Ethan poking fun, a screenshot of Ethan, I guess, poking fun, saying that it's April Fool's Day, so maybe it's not real.
Well, explain his sister.
Yeah.
I
don't think it's appropriate to assume it's not real.
There's too many aspects of this for it to be something that is just like a made up situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't joke about it and laugh about it like I saw they were doing. By the way, you've got a slight echo on your mic.
Oh, here, I'll turn that off.
I'll see if I can pull up what I saw.
Is that better?
Yes, I believe so.
There you go.
But it's not a situation. Suicide's never a situation to make fun of. It's not a joke. I wouldn't be poking fun at the bear, saying ah ha ha at someone's suicide, whether or not, whatever day of the year it is. So
yeah,
really, really sad. Very sad. This is something that's really sort of ironic timing because,
well, I mean, we can take a look at this right here, and I mean, you guys can kind of make your own decision based on that. There you go. It is with the most broken heart that I share. My big brother Ed has passed away today. Please just keep our family in your prayers. This is the hardest thing we've ever had to go through. That's from Justine.
That's sad. My condolences if you're watching. My condolences.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's
pressures in this game are real, man. Like people get trolled consistently and they don't realize what it does to the people on the other side of that. I mean, we've had Comicsgate come after us, we've had the mainstream come after us on multiple occasions, and I can tell you it's never fun. I mean, it doesn't make you want to wake up and continue doing what you're doing. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and people, I mean, we've sort of gotten to a point where we've been a lot more comfortable with it, but it's taken several years. When we first got trolled, it was very traumatic. And it lasted for several years, the impact. And then getting trolled again.
No, it's not just the trolling either. It's the ruining of your persona. Like that shit stays with you. It doesn't matter whether you were right or wrong. Like, people still bring up that old shit as if it's gospel. Like, they don't take a look at the stuff that you've done, like, currently, and use that as a weight of merit. They use everything that they've either heard or someone has told them, or or they've read online or something, as what's actual fact, as opposed to getting the story for themselves. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, and it'll never go away either. It's always going to live on. The gossip.
It's the lore. Is that what they call it? That's what they all
lore.
call it. The lore.
That's what they say about us. Yeah, the lore. There's some lore that like goes back years, and it's quite predictable. Now I can see like it all goes back to one event or one person, but just the amount of telephoning all over the internet is insane. And when we first got trolled, it was election year, and it was over politics, and I thought we'd just been ruined, like I wouldn't have a career anymore. So that was sad. Then we quit comics, and then Comicsgate trolled us at the behest of Ethan. And I thought for sure I was absolutely ruined then. So I can very much sympathize deeply with feeling like the one thing you want to do gets destroyed and there's no chance at it again. But Ed,
and he's the nicest guy too. I've met him multiple times. I've seen him across the country at multiple shows, and he's
the sad thing about Ed is that this is kind of, there's so many things I could say about how this relates to current situations and timing. And just yesterday we were streaming, and the whole John Malin and getting booted from C2E2 and all of that. And I remember saying last night, and I've said it on Twitter, just on March 30th, that someone was saying, Mindy takes sides because she's anti-Comicsgate, blah, blah. And I said, no, it's about innocent until proven guilty. I haven't seen an email from C2E2 making claims of harassment. So I can't in good conscience blame C2E2 for something I don't know that happened. I said that on the stream last night. And here we are seeing real-time consequence of not abiding to innocent before proven guilty. It's a very anti-American way of thinking. It's against freedom, and it destroys people. And that's what the internet does and echoes. And Ed's final words were very revealing, I think. And we still don't, it's still he wasn't proven guilty on any account. I believe I saw the images of the messages from the girl on Instagram like a few weeks ago. And someone asked me, what do you think? And I said, well, I don't know, because it's just her random messages. There's no context. It kind of felt like a Me Too dog pile, because she could just be saying, she says this happened, but I see no proof. Again, he's not convicted of anything. So I let it go. I just didn't, it's innocent before proven guilty for me. But the people who don't think that way, and then they start blaming and calling and trolling and feeling to the point where he feels ruined. That's what's damaging.
They went to his parents, according to him, in what he wrote. They went to his parents' house and started harassing his elderly parents. I mean, how much of a fuck do you have to be to go harass someone's family? That's outside of the scope, man.
And on whose words? Again, we have a justice system in this country, and it's meant to be you're given a fair trial by a jury of your peers. So the internet is not a court. The internet is not a trial. And that's what people were saying that back to me years ago, back when CG was trolling me. Oh, in the court of public opinion, you're toast, kind of stuff. And that's not a sound practice or sound mentality, because at that rate, you're at the behest of a mob. And even the founding fathers said the tyranny of the mob is as equally as evil as the tyranny of the government, of a tyrannical government. So it's not that because of the people, it's coming from the people, that it's justified. It's not. The mob of the people is evil. It's also evil. The only thing that keeps it in line is innocent before proven guilty, and you need to be given a fair trial. So I blame all these, newspapers all the time, these journalists even. I think it was Bleeding Fool I saw on Twitter, and that's one of the posts I commented on March 30th, and they were saying, oh, discrimination against conservatives, John Malin. And I said, there's no proof. Come on. Be a journalist, have some investigation, actually do something. You either seek the truth or you seek a bunch of BS. And this is the result of a bunch of BS. That's not being responsible. This is not, he didn't have a fair trial. Ed did not. And that's what makes this all the more tragic. Just these are the consequences to not abiding by personal freedoms and giving people the chance to defend themselves. And everyone does have a right to defend themselves. The whole by defending yourself, you're creating drama BS that we see online too, which these are all real consequences you and I, Mike, and everybody feels when they're getting trolled. You go out and defend yourself, and then they just go, oh, and they
blame you for defending yourself because you're causing a fuss, and you're like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? Just sit here and take it. They're like, yes, you just sit there and you take it.
Yeah, they do. They blame you. They say you're a bad person. You're either a crybaby, you're a victim. They make all kinds of bully names for you. So the bullying it gets worse, I'd say, when you defend yourself sometimes. And it's a very weird environment we're all adjusting to. But I mean, you and I are experienced being bullied now online, and it doesn't matter with what we do anymore, but it was so tragic. And I was just beginning as an artist. Ed, like he said in his final words, he attached his whole identity to his work and had been doing this for a long time. So I can only imagine, at least tenfold of what I went through is what he went through. So it's very sad. And it was a Me Too. I think it was a Me Too. Where's the proof? I don't know. We really don't know what happened. He said that in his final words that he felt that girl, whatever her name is, taking it to the internet as she did was, 1, out of context, 2, she stated things like they happened that didn't actually happen, and 3, he thought it was very malicious. So you run into a problem of it's very malicious. It should have gone to court, if anything.
Well, he also dropped some names too, didn't he?
He did. And then one name, interestingly enough, was tied to all the Whisper campaigns, was Alex DeCampi, who I actually don't know much about. I don't think I've ever met her or talked, to Alex. But I thought was kind of interesting, that there was that connection. But I mean, if you have someone to try for, and this was part of the problem with the Me Too movement, if you really have some dirt on somebody, then take them to court. Why are you taking it to Twitter? And it's the same for John Malin. If you really have something, take it to court. Actually do it the way that you're supposed to do. Don't just use the mob of the people, because that, like I said, was deemed equally as evil by, who are the particular founding fathers?
Well, Jefferson talked a lot about it.
It was Jefferson.
Yeah.
You're right. Jefferson, and then I think it was John. It was whoever he was writing the letters to in the
Madison.
Was it Madison in the, what are the documents called? The letters. I forget now. They were writing back and forth. I know, slipping my mind.
It's not the Thurgood letters. It's the.
I'm gonna look it up.
I can't even remember.
It was the letters to themselves, and they went by the name Publius. Was Jefferson, the founding fathers, right? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. I'll keep Federalist Papers.
The Federalist
It's
Papers.
in the Federalist Papers, because after the country was founded, they governed, but for the first little while, it wasn't a very strong government. And then they had a problem that Jefferson was explaining, going back and forth, as use the mob as being an anti-government tool and not anti-citizen. They were having a problem in the courts with people changing laws too frequently, so no one could keep up, and they couldn't figure out what laws were even happening. And that's when he started to discover that the demands and the mob of the people and were just brutal, and he saw that, and that was his take. And other founding fathers shared that view through experience. So then they started to lengthen the process of how long it could take to change a law.
And it's interesting. We're talking about the rule of the mob and the decisions of the mob and how destructive they can be on the day after the resurrection of Jesus. Wasn't he eliminated by a mob? I'm pretty sure that's kind of how that went down, right?
Good God, you couldn't make a more accurate point there, Mike. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So just because it's people saying it doesn't make you, oh, freedom, oh, democracy, because people are also evil. People make up government, which then can be tyrannical. So it's not one or the other. It's not one is better. It's not mobs are okay. Mobs are also bad. Mobs also burned and mostly drowned the witches.
And I'm old
Salem,
enough to remember
Massachusetts,
2020 when a bunch of cities were on fire because of the mob.
Yes. Thank you. There are many instances.
That didn't happen that long ago. That was just like a few days ago.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
What is Daigle's comment there? Fandom Pulse.
Painted Ed as a pedo in the press, and the mob jumped on it. They need to be sued by Ed's family. Yeah. Well.
There you go. I mean, take it to court. And unfortunately, though, I have seen in this country even the justice system be watered down and full of BS by stupidity. Very nice show. Thank you. And that's part of where, again, the founding
Pontius Pilate. Yep, that's right. Pilate.
The founding fathers again said that the republic had to be, I forget the actual saying now.
Well, it wasn't even Pontius. Pontius gave the mob a chance. He said, "I'll free one of these men. You pick," and they picked the murderer to get free. So it was the decision of the mob to crucify Jesus. It wasn't even Pontius. Pontius didn't want to have anything to do with it. He didn't want his hands to be sullied with the blood of Christ, because I think in a way he might have actually believed a little bit about what was going on. And he said, I don't want this on my hands. And he turned it over to the people, and the mob decided.
That's a good point. I know there's a quote there that I'm forgetting who said it, but the republic is dependent on a moral people or a civilized people, something like that. There's a famous quote to that extent. I'll look it up in a bit. And that's why. Because if the people aren't that way, if they aren't civilized and moral, then they become a mob. Very easy mob, just as a snap of your fingers mob. Just, oh, it's a witch. Burn her.
Everybody thinks we are so civilized. Go 72 hours without power. You'll find out how civilized we all are. Real quick.
Yeah, we're all just humans. And that's why you got to keep yourself in check. Have to take some personal responsibility. And I know that's the feeling. That's why I took it so hard when CG trolled me. It was a realization as I was growing up in this digital world of, wow, everyone's so crappy. I thought there was more like civility in the world.
The indie comics community, right? It's the community.
Yeah, the community, right. But there was such a lack of civility, a lack of caring about one another's well-being. And I mean, of course, the internet's going to attract degenerates, but I really didn't realize the level of degeneracy and mobbing. And funny enough,
The same people then were, I think, the same people now that did that to Ed to a large degree, that mobbed him. Because, I mean, wasn't it lots of comic skaters that were after him?
I'm not uncivilized. Civilization just isn't civilized enough for my taste. Fulgrim. Yeah, that's right.
That's a good quote.
See, all of our fans are fucking educated.
I know, right?
You know, there's something to be said about that.
Civilized? Would you say that they're civilized? Holy smokes!
I don't know about civilized, but I would say educated for sure.
That's important, and that's. I mean, this stream isn't conservatively based. Your channel isn't based in conservative principles, but me personally, that's what conservatism means: is knowing your history and knowing what works and what doesn't, and that's what it's about.
Those who are not students of history are doomed to repeat the same failures in history. There
you go. So this whole like John Malin wah, trying to incite the mob, saying it's for his conservative values. Again, like the mob, just being that there is a mob is not very conservative in its value, because mobs are evil.
Yeah, comic skaters at Phantom Pulse literally crucified Ed, and now they're turning him into their martyr. They're sickos.
Yeah, it's just whatever they can do for money and victimhood and attention instead of actually taking responsibility. When they were just crying yesterday about John Malin pointing the finger at C2E2 without any proof that C2E2 committed the crime that they're trying to say they're guilty of. Hypocrites. Those are all hypocrites. Anybody who did that.
Well, and anybody that's ever done a show knows you can't have multiple companies at a booth. Like, that stuff's not allowed. You can't do that. They're like, well, explain Marvel and Image and all them. Yeah, they're there representing Marvel. They're there representing Image. It's one company at a booth. Just because they work for other companies or have worked for other companies in the past, it doesn't matter. They're there at the booth signing Image comics. Will they sign other comics too you bring to them? Yes, but they are there promoting a certain comic that they worked on at that studio.
Yeah, so, have you never been to a show?
Apparently, well, and see, that's what these people like John Malin and Ethan, they prey on you, and they want you to, they think you're stupid. Is what it is. And they capitalize on your ignorance of what goes on behind the curtain to incite outrage and angst amongst their fans in order to make more money and capitalize on that money. It's an MO with them. It happens all the time. And once you build that outrage model, you have no recourse but to continue to foster it, because once you get a fan base that thrives on that model, if you don't throw them red meat sporadically,
if you're not the mob,
you will be the red meat.
Yeah, you've attracted the mob to you. That's all you have. So you have to incite them. You have to put them on the war path. And that there's some responsibility you got to take. When they initially all came on the scene, they basically were declaring war against the mainstream.
And, you can look at everybody that's worked in that crowd. Eventually they get eliminated or thrown under the bus. It's happened with every single person that's gotten close to that crowd. They've either gotten thrown under the bus or ran over or so on and so forth. So, I mean, if I were John and Shane, I'd be looking for knives in my back because, I mean, it's coming. Because, I mean, he's not going to take responsibility for your screw up and not being able to read a contract. He's going to blame it on somebody. It's
just watch like in a week from now, Ethan be John Malin misread my contract and
and how close were Matt Barr and Ethan, and then that ostracized Matt over he chose two people that would rather make amateur porn than comics because of their fan base and having them on. I mean, why would you do that?
And how sad is this now? Because Ed said his whole identity was based on comics and he would wake up, work on them all day long. And now him being pressured to the point of suicide from a mob that doesn't even give two craps about comics.
Yeah. That doesn't even read them. That doesn't buy them. Not even his fans.
I got the kids going through the room, so I got to mute my mic for a second. So you talk.
No.
You tell us what Ed Piskor Ed Piskor worked on.
He did all kinds of stuff. His biggest claim to fame recently was that book Red Room. He also did a run with X-Men. I can't remember what the subtitle was on that, but he did that. He also did like I think it was like Genesis or something, X-Men New Genesis, or I don't know. I'd have to look it up. It's been several years. This was back in 2017, 2018. I think he also did something with the Fantastic Four.
When did you meet him?
He did hip hop something or other. He did a bunch of stuff in the indie realm. And let's see, got another question. Do we think Comics Gators painted a target on Ed's back because he celebrated hip hop in comics form? I don't know. I can't even say that it was Comics Gators that were against Ed. I really don't know that for sure. I know that, well, I know they have gone after people in the past and continue to go after certain people. But I don't know how much they had to do with Ed and what went on there. I can't remember.
What's
in
that?
the
I'm
circles
looking up.
that I follow, seeing that it was talked about very much. Phantom Pulse is a Comicsgate Twitter account. Yeah, but I don't know how associated they are with them or supported by them they are. Anybody, see, the thing about Comicsgate is it's such a loose association. Anybody can say that they're Comicsgate. There's no fucking application process. Apparently there's no leaders either. There's no way you can like say, oh, well, I want to be a part of this. And then all you got to do is just use the hashtag apparently, and then you're Comicsgate. So Phantom Pulse could just be some jack off in his basement that just retweets a bunch of Comicsgate shit because he wants to and not really have any tight associations. I don't know who runs that account, so I can't speak. Like if you could give me a name of who owns that account, I could tell you whether they are supportive of that movement or not. But I mean, that's the thing about Twitter too. Twitter is such a cesspool, man. People hide behind these masks and these illusions of false identities. I mean, anybody could be anybody. You don't know who the fuck these people are. It's very unregulated. Twitter is like the wild, wild west of the internet, social media kind of area.
And there's something to be said that's very anti-conservative in the structure of Comicsgate. So it's dumb that they advertise themselves as such.
It says Comicsgate is a racist psyop indoctrinating children through comics. I would say they're more socialist.
Yeah, that's where I'm going with it. It's a very socialist style in its structure. It's it being that you can do whatever you want, you can enter, you can leave, like this kind of thing. The thing with conservatism is that it's built on organic growth. That's a whole philosophy behind conservatism.
I've always said Comicsgate is the anti-political political action committee.
Yeah, that's right. But it's
they're
supposed
the anti-union union.
You're not supposed to. The thing about organic growth and conservatism is that you are not supposed to be able to like go in and go out of things in theory, because building on something that works and grows, that grows organically because it works, that stands upon itself, and then you grow. It's actually sort of progressive in that way. Like you can progress. It's not meant to be to withhold progression. You can progress. You're allowed to, you're encouraged to, as long as it works. You build on what works. It's called organic growth in society. So if you're just going in and out of something and it's so loosely affiliated, and anyone could come in at any time, you could have a socialist or a communist and a conservative all be in the same group saying they're for the same thing because they use the hashtag Comicsgate, which is so antithetical to what conservatism is about, because that doesn't work. It doesn't work. There's no structure. There's no progress. So it's nothing else but socialism, really. It cannot be anything other than socialist in its structure. It's shared among everyone. Anyone can have it at any time. So it's nothing.
Yeah.
It stands for nothing.
I don't know if all my comments are coming through here, so I'm taking a second and posting the link. If you guys are on Facebook and not on YouTube, you can't see this link. I'm posting it in the Facebook chat right now. Feel free to hop on and come in the stream, say your piece, whatever. Instead of making a lot of comments, come join us, man, and talk about this shit.
I'd be curious.
I just posted it. I just posted it in the link there in Facebook. So hop on.
I'd be curious to see what he was saying about the hip hop in comics, the hip hop family tree, and how that was associated. I looked it up.
The Hip Hop Family Tree it's a book series by Ed Piskor that he did, and he would talk about all the rap and hip hop culture and stuff.
Yeah, it looks fine. What's wrong with it? I'm looking at Fantagraphics.com, which was all of Ed's stuff. I see the Red Room and the Hip Hop Family Tree, and I don't see what's wrong with it. I'm not sure why people would care, unless people are maybe the racism. Is that where we're going?
You know how Comicsgate is, and how they label everything woke just because it has a certain aspect of something in there. You know, you put more than like 3 black dudes in a comic, they're going to call your comic woke.
Yeah, and you know, we even had people calling our book racist. Like they didn't want to see Sumchai in it, our character, because he was of color. We posted that into the bounding, and
Sumchai's a real guy. Like that dude exists. He's out there.
Yeah. And we had racists on that post, like straight up admitting we don't want to see this person because he doesn't have white
and they were
skin.
talking about how he was, how he's kind of hitting on boobs, the main character.
Yeah, they're a biracial couple.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, we don't want a biracial couple. We don't want to see that shit." And I'm like, "Damn, dude! Like, oh wow! Like, what country do you live in?" Like,
I told you, Mike. I saw it in the last
especially
election.
in that group, that Facebook group, Bounding into Comics. I don't know if you've ever been in that hellhole, but my God, are there some racists in that group?
Yep.
And I think most of them are like from Australia and some shit. And like, dude, these guys are racist. Like, wow.
I saw that. I told you, Mike, and then I was glad you saw that, because that was the first time you saw it happen. But I had seen that same stuff happen in 2016. Or no, not 2016, the last election, so 2020. And I was telling you, I said, because Mike, you were doing trucking, you weren't really involved in comics. We hadn't launched Boobs at all. And I was running that group, Conservatives in the Arts, at Facebook, which it's just kind of there now. I forget it exists now. But I stepped away from having anything to do with it for a long time. And there were people I had to ban from that group who were Nazis and white supremacists, and they were coming in and they were doing it under the whole fighting against white culture stuff. And I booted them several times, and they were trying to like recruit me, and it was just around that election time. And it was very strange, and they were all pro-Trump, by the way. And they were trying to post links in the group of comics for like white artists or something, and they were trying to gather people, and they were gathering all these artists from all different kinds of fine art and comics and recruiting them to do a anti-black culture, a pro-white culture, and they were straight up white supremacists. And I said no, and I disappointed them, I suppose, because I guess they thought that people saying they were conservatives at the time were like all Nazis. But I was all, hell no, get the hell out. You're not welcome. America is known as a melting pot. Go learn some American history, you jerks, because a lot of them were actually foreign. Most of them were foreigners. And I said, this is America's culture. America is a melting pot. You come here, you're American. It doesn't matter what skin color you are. There's no white culture. There's no, because a lot of them are coming from the mentality that of European. So they say that they have European roots and they need to be white skin. And it's just so racist, super racist. And I, ever since then, I've known in the back of my mind, there are these white activist groups that are going around in comics and in all areas of art and trying to recruit people and are doing it under the anti-diversity umbrella. So you get that radicalization. Just because I'm not radically left does not mean I support any of that. Just because I don't like a lot of the woke, like overinflation of transgender. I did an experiment once and I did the commercials on my television and I recorded it and I looked up the percentages, and the transgender demographic was overrepresented by over 1,000%. Like that stuff I think is just dumb, but that doesn't mean I support any of that. So, and if you don't know that and you're poking around with this Comicsgate crowd and you don't realize that there's these groups under the shadows infiltrating any area of the internet they can, flying hashtags, you're stupid. Like you're inviting that right into your life. And that's who does a lot of the trolling, a lot of the harassment. And that's the world we live in. So
Daigle says, well, if you make a comic book celebrating black people, that is sure to piss off a lot of racist comic skaters. And Mike Peterson says the lockdowns in Australia turned them into political activist keyboard warriors like we almost became. And Daigle says, again, no hate in comics. Yeah.
Yep. And you have to use that same sound judgment, just like the innocent before proven guilty. When it comes to racism, obviously there's cultural differences between different groups of people, even in between Europe and America. But, like freaking Mexicans, they have a totally different culture. I love that culture. I grew up in Arizona. Mexican food, people, all of that is so comforting to me. And so there's obviously there's different cultures that come in, but you have to use sound judgment. Remember that America is supposed to be a melting pot, and just be a good person. Like what was that one? Was it Cat Williams, that comedian? I thought that was so on point what he said, and I apply that logic to racism. He said there's God's people and there's everybody else. and he was talking about pedophilia, but pedophilia, racism, all of that. I think the only people that are really going to be actually tolerant are people that recognize that there are different cultural differences, and you still got to just love each other anyway. And you don't care. It's the people that care. So, that also applies.
Right.
Again, it comes down to being a republic of civil and moral people. Or else you have mobs.
Daigle says Nazi comics get kicked off all Kickstarter all the time. I've seen it.
Really? That's God, isn't that awful?
And he helps run the Indie Comics on Facebook group, and he tries to keep it hater free.
Oh, nice. Hey, oh my God, I love chimichangas so
Arizona
much.
is the birthplace of the chimichanga and carne asada fries. Boy, you don't know nothing till you've been to Filiberto's, boy.
Dude, he lives in
Philly
Arizona.
beans.
No, he's down there. He probably knows of Filiberto's, Aliberto's, Rigoberto's.
Jesus Christ, get some Phillies and send it to me, boy, right now.
Please, can you overnight
right now?
We
a
miss
carne asada burrito. Just FedEx that shit overnight.
Please, we'll pay you to do it. We miss
some green sauce.
Taco Tuesdays. Oh, horchatas.
I'm telling you. Kitty
That's
Flip says,
home.
yum.
Yum. And that was funny. I worked as
Los
Los
Bertos.
Bertos?
There's always a Berto. Dude, there's all kinds of Bertos. Filiberto started it. But there's Los Bertos, there's Alabertos, there's Rigobertos. Like, if it's got Bertos on the end of it, you know you're in for a good time.
And it's silly. It's silly. Happy Easter. Yes, hello. Happy Easter. There was a time I drew a card deck for Ultra Pro, and they sent me a list of names with no descriptions, I don't think, of the characters to draw. And one of them was called Sombrero Grande. Okay. And so I drew a Mexican dude with a giant sombrero. It's supposed to be in the West too. And they said that it was racist that I drew that. And I was like, what are you talking about? What would you draw? If I draw anything else, doesn't that mean it's cultural appropriation? That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So you have to use your common sense sound logic. Although common sense is hard to come by. But all of this other nonsense.
Being named common sense, it's not very common.
It's true. We should rename it right now and call it civilized sense, perhaps. And that's a very good point you made about them. You have to feed them mob red meat.
You have to,
because you're so right.
They will come after you.
They'll come after you, and how are you going to pay your rent if that's how you pay your bills? And then this is funny too. So you get maybe your booth gets revoked from C2E2. You probably lose your booth fees. You lose all the money you put in the books you printed ahead of time to sell at that show. Any tablecloths, any merch you were planning on bringing, the time you took off work, you're losing thousands of dollars because you didn't read a contract, right? And and what do you do to get that money back? You throw them red meat, huh? That's a cycle. That's an observable, tangible, measurable cycle that's been going on for over 6 years. So it's a scientist.
That's a troll comment. That's a troll. Yeah, I heard C2E2 has good taste in what people they want to have there. Yeah. Could be true.
We appreciate that because we're going there.
Yeah. We'll see you at C2E2. We'll be there.
We'll be at C2E2. We're at table, I believe it's SP17. You can look on the website and see yourself. And it's very cool. I had contacted them actually recently about their website because we weren't pulling up for a comic publisher because we were doing we're the news magazine. So I don't know if we didn't check the box or what, that we weren't showing up. And they got back to me right away and they were so nice. And they said, oh, I know how important it is for you to be able to show. Because I explained, we're a news magazine with Comics Illustrated, but we put out books in their comic size. So we're a comic publisher. We're a publisher. So we should be in the publisher section. Otherwise, no one's going to find us. And they said, oh, I understand completely. And then they remedied it in like 2 seconds. They were super professional. And now, because we start with a C, that we're, I think, the third listing under comic publisher on the website.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
I got some homemade moonshine. I wish I could pour Ed a drink.
One for my homie, Mike.
This is some good stuff here, man. You cut up some apples, you throw a couple bottles of Everclear in there, and you throw a couple of sticks of cinnamon. You let it set for about 6 days. And my God, it tastes like apple pie.
We got to do a cheers. One for my grandma homie and now Ed.
Yeah, it's tough, dude.
Yeah, that's really sad. The story behind grandma homie is
Ed.
Yeah, shout out to Ed. May you rest in peace. I'm drinking Coke, but it works. Story behind grandma was we saw a very tragic car accident when we were trucking. It happened right in front of us, and an old lady got T-boned and snapped her neck right there. And Mike
I
tried
hopped out of the
to get out
truck
of the
and I tried
car.
to rip the door open to get to her, but I couldn't get to her in time.
It was shut too. It was like stuck shut, I think. Bent. I don't think you were able to get in, but the cops showed up pretty much immediately. But yeah, we poured out one for my homie that night. Sad. Death is it's really sad to think that Ed took his life, you know, over internet bullying. And another thing that's just coincidental timing. I was just talking to Trey a little bit, barely. I sent Trey the Matt Riddle stuff.
Yeah.
And he said that made his day, and he had just been dealing with some BS. And I haven't had a chance to respond to him yet, but my response is just that the BS in comics never ends.
Never does.
It never ends. So I think we've done a good job at getting used to it. But again, it took us many years. I would be devastated if what we have now hadn't, like, we had started Divinity Comics 10 years ago and we had done so well and we had built for 10 years as opposed to just starting Divinity Comics a year ago. Because a year ago today, we launched Boobs 1. It's our birthday of Divinity Comics today. I would just be devastated to see years, decades of work and then to be trolled. I can't imagine that. That would be very sad. Thankfully, we were trolled in the beginning when we were just starting. So now it's just like, fuck it. It doesn't matter.
No, what are you going to do? Cancel us? Fuck, we don't care.
Oh, you're going to make a YouTube video. People use that as a threat. You know, they do. They'll say,
Hate doesn't pay. We'll make sure of it. And also, happy birthday, Divinity, from Discordia. No, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. A happy birthday, but a sad birthday.
Yeah.
But Mike and I have always been some sort of catalyst. So
I love how radicals obsess over quote unquote authenticity. So they get authentic Middle Eastern cuisine at Sprouts and authentic Mexican from Chipotle. It's like going to get Mexican food from Taco Bell. Like, it's not, no.
And I think that in light of everything we've said tonight, it's a good observation to say that there's radicals on both sides. You know, just never be too radical is the point, and don't be a part of a hate mob. I've been preaching that since 2018. That was what my Facebook group was supposed to be for and about. It was initially titled "Politics Destroying Escapism," and when I was sort of like adopted, I was sort of strangely adopted. Like, they just swooped in and like sucked me up, and I think I was to be the token woman. And they started sending me links and stuff, and like, I didn't ask for that, you know. I had used the hashtag once because it was something I actually.
Oh, we have another guest. His camera's a little blurry though.
Ah.
Oh, yeah, you gotta get the light out of the lens. There you go. He's coming. He's almost there. It's still a little blurry. You got that light behind you is just detrimental. He's gonna go fix it.
Okay.
We have another indie comics legend in the making.
Is it less?
You hear that? We have another indie comics legend in the making in the back. He goes by, well, let me. I'll give him an intro first, and then we'll do that. Hang on, let me see what I got for him. Always got some good stuff. Let's give him. Let's give him this one.
Hide the realm.
Mr. Mike Sears.
Mike.
How's it going, you guys?
What is up, man? How are you?
Nothing much. Working on a commission, a comic book I'm working on. I don't think I can talk about it right now. But Pretty good. I got off work about a couple hours ago and just kind of sitting at the house.
Cool. So you up to date with what's going on with Ed and all that stuff?
No, this is the first time hearing about it. What's up?
Ed Sears killed himself today. Or not Ed Sears, Ed Piskor.
Ed Piskor?
Piskor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. He was
being trolled, all that stuff that was going on with him. He wrote a suicide letter and he offed himself earlier today. His sister found him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, once you open up Facebook, you'll see. Go to my profile.
Oh my God. Yeah, I heard that he died like in passing, but I was at work and just on and off my phone. I thought he just like died of like a heart attack or something.
No.
No, he had a very lengthy suicide note too, and it's online. You can read it. He was being accused of, I guess you would say, sexual misconduct, of flirting with a girl who was 17, but he wasn't found guilty of it. The girl had just taken it to like Instagram or wherever and was posting saying, he did this, he was flirting with me, he's a creep, I was only 17. But then in his suicide note, he touched on that and elaborated on that. He said he was speaking with her during the COVID years. And then, I mean, it was a very lengthy note, but he also felt that what she did was malicious, and he thought he admitted he was stupid in talking to her, but I don't think anything like explicit was said. It was just a couple of comments, maybe like "you're cute" or I don't know, it's like something pretty mild. Anyways, he got
extremely to death
attacked
by fandom pulse liars.
Yeah,
oh
he got
God.
trolled to death. Yes, in the literal sense. Yes, over that.
Oh,
it's so sad to lose someone over internet bullying. I don't know what the situation was with the girl. Like I said, he mentioned that he thought that she was posting things, 1, out of context, 2, saying things that didn't happen, and 3, that it was malicious on her part to take it to the internet and to say those things about him. And, it's one of those things will probably go unknown, but he said several times over in his letter, this is my death. So, you better take it seriously. And I hope you actually hold her accountable, is what he said.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's fucked up. I mean, yeah, I feel that because like I've got like real bad like what is that, like manic depressive disorder and stuff like that. So I get like that sometimes. And even just recently, I had some stuff going down at my job about a girl I was talking to, but and then she like totally flaked and started lying and telling everyone that I was an alcoholic and shit like that. So yeah, but it's different. She was 44 and then she turned into a 17-year-old.
But women do lie and make up lies about men. That's the lesson to be learned. I
know that firsthand.
Yeah. Nobody's innocent completely. So best not to maybe troll someone to death over someone else's relationship we don't really know anything about.
Yeah, like that's I don't really like messing with people like that.
Parents too, Mike.
Huh?
They went to his elderly parents' house and started knocking on their door and asking them questions and trying to get them on tape and on camera, and it was a lot.
Oh my God. Like people fucking suck, especially now that everyone has a camera in their hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. It almost makes me think, we were talking before you got on here, Mike, about people being really radical and internet mobs and how you have to throw them red meat to keep them active and all that. It almost makes me think they were trying to ride on the whole pedophilia thing to get people to like take action against him. They were trying to attract the radicals, is what I'm saying. It's like a business model. Like they were doing it to get the attention, maybe. Because it was like newspapers, like journalists, people online, Twitter accounts. The Fandom Pulse has been mentioned several times as one of the accounts that was painting him as a pedo. So that's sad. That's sad that it's like a clickbait thing, you know, to be trolled over a clickbait thing to ruin it. He personally felt his image had just been ruined.
Oh.
It's not just that, it's his body of work and everything else, you know, that he found that he thought was going to be in jeopardy. He thought he was losing everything. You know, like all of his stuff. He was telling his parents where to find his sketchbooks, how much to sell them for, all his original art, where it was, and you know, he gave the license plate to his car and what he was wearing and said, I hope someone finds me. And
oh my God. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Like every bit of it like is just like all the way fucked up.
It is.
And then Ethan, if the screen cap is real, I saw a screen cap, but I can't find it now on Twitter of him saying it was because it's today, it's April 1st on April Fool's Day, that maybe it's a joke and ha kind of thing. But I don't think it's a joke. So
well, I mean, like I said, I showed this earlier, you know, his sister came out and actually made a statement as well. And I mean, for it to be a joke, I really don't see that would happen if that were the case. I mean, usually people's family members don't get on like such vile April Fool's jokes.
It's a pretty twisted joke if it was a joke. I don't think it was a joke, for one, and two, it would make no. It's just very twisted.
Yeah, it's right there. It says, "It is with the most broken heart that I share. My big brother Ed has passed away today. Please keep us in our family. Please keep our family in your prayers, as this is the hardest thing we've ever had to go through."
That's sad. Look at that comment. I personally tried to email Molly so she could extrapolate her side for Daily Kos last week, and she responded, no. I found that suspicious.
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, sorry. Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought you were getting on a happy stream. I thought you might have seen the title.
I just now saw it. Well, yeah, because I've been kind of in and out all day. I'm working on like 4 books at once right now.
Right.
Nice. Well, on that note, keeping indie comics alive, and Ed mentioned how important his work was to him, that it was part of like his identity. So, being that you're working on 4 books at once, how do you enjoy the work you do? What's it mean to you?
It means a lot. Like going back to like when I was a kid and stuff. I was that weird kid that whenever I got like a DVD or something, I watched the special features more than I would watch the thing, because I just really like watching how shit was made. And one thing that really spoke to me about like comics or whatever was seeing the dudes or the old guy like sitting there talking about like how it's done and how it's made and stuff like that. And I was just like, I want to be that guy. Like, I want to, like, especially like how fucked up a lot of my childhood was, like comics and all that was like my escape. So the idea that I could make something that someone sees who's going through something similar or just having a shitty day and just like have like inspiring them to do something. Because like I was homeless, was even in a documentary about it. And now I'm sitting here like before 30, I'll probably be like either buying a house or at least being like all the way into the industry, a published author and stuff like that. So nice. Just pretty much getting it out there that, you know, you can do what you set your mind to. It's just forget about sleep or anything like that.
Yeah, who needs sleep? It's
Yeah,
overrated.
sleep is for the privileged.
That's the truth, though. When you work really hard and long hours, it's actually hard to balance sleep. I think.
Oh yeah, yeah. Not to mention, I'm also working a day job and stuff like that. So more than a lot of times, like I go in at 7 o'clock, and like on too many days, I have gone to bed at like 5 o'clock and only got like an hour's sleep. But I still come home and do the same shit all over again. Like it's what I love doing. It's just like there's a fire in me for it.
That's awesome. I say all the time, I just think it's more true every day. People that love to create, the worst thing is not creating.
Yeah.
It's like a calling, you know?
Yeah, it also feels like I'm doing something wrong whenever I'm just sitting there doing nothing. Like, even if, like, right now I'm working on this Rabbit Man book, I think I sent you, like, a picture of the current cover art. It's like a cowboy story. But even if this or Mouse Man or whatever I do gets me, like, $1 million overnight, I'd probably still work, like, a part-time job or something. Because, like, the idea, like, I love doing it, and I love that it's becoming more and more of my job, but, like, if I just, like, sat here, like, at my desk, like, constantly and not doing anything, I'd go crazy. It's sort of like the shower. Like, I come up with my best ideas when I'm at work. If I just sat here all the time, I wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. Ryan Howitt, by the way, says all kinds of really awesome things about you.
Oh, I thought he was on.
Oh no, he's not. But you come highly recommended, and yeah, we've talked about you and how awesome you are several times.
Yeah, Mouse Man is fantastic. I love that book.
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna Mouse Man. I don't know when it's gonna come back. I do have a set thing for what it is gonna be, but I don't like doing one thing for too long, even if it's multiple series. I finished with that, so now I'm gonna do like 3 or 4 issues of Rabbit Man, and more than likely by the end of the year, Mouse Man will come back, so that way I don't get sick of it.
Okay, well, hey, at least you called it Rabbit Man and not Rabbitman. That means he's not riding a rabbit. Like Eric July, horseman riding a horse.
Yeah.
Okay, so it always helps to be astute of the English language and how hyphenations work.
Yes.
Spiderman, because he's riding a spider.
This is true. This is true.
Mike's like, I don't want to talk shit about people. I don't know. No, feel free. Here, you can talk shit. I promise. It's okay.
Trying to think. Speaking of talking shit and comics, have you seen that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League thing?
I have not.
Don't even bother.
Okay.
Like the Arkham Asylum games, the Batman games?
Yeah.
These are the guys who did that made a game about Suicide Squad, and they made it a live service pay-to-win game.
Oh, God.
Yeah. And currently it came out about a month and a half ago, and it is currently sitting at 100 players.
Wow.
It's garbage. It's like hot garbage. And the horrible thing about it is they didn't even want to make it like at all. They were like, oh, we're just going to make like a co-op single player game. But the publishers came in, or like the executives or stockholders or whatever the fuck came in and were like, no, you're going to make it like a pay to win Fortnite game. And you can tell like there's some effort put into it, but clearly they didn't want to be making it like at all. And they've essentially shot their company in the ass. Like real bad. They sunk like $100 million into something that only like 100 people play.
Jeez. Oh my God. Oh my God. My son has a huge complaint about the Batman, the video games. He said there was one game, maybe
it's
it was
the last one that came out, the one where they're like Nightwing's in it or whatever. It's based on Arkham Asylum shit too.
Oh, yeah. Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight. He hated it.
Yeah. He said It was back when I was must have been 2017. My son and he was little, and we used to play the Batman game together, whatever that one was at the time. And he said they stopped it and then they waited all these years and they left it on a cliffhanger, and then there was actually no resolution at all. And he waited that whole time to find the resolution, and then it was just bombed. He was so mad. He said, yeah, he lost all faith in that, and he complains about it all the time whenever we talk about it.
Yeah, like he's personally hurt.
Yeah, it was part of his childhood development, and they ruined it on him.
Over the past few years, I've actually just said, like, the AAA stuff, even like AAA like comics and stuff like that, I have gone like strict like indie. Like, I've even made a couple of indie games, like, but indie games are like fucking phenomenal. Even like the little games you find on like Itch.io and Game Jolt, like those games are like amazing because there's passion in it, just like the comics and stuff like that. It doesn't feel like it's being made with someone with a job. It feels like it's being made because somebody has always wanted to do this and they give a shit.
Speaking of mainstream stuff, I have an interesting little tidbit that was sent to me because, being that I'm in the journalist scene and stuff now, I'm starting to get inside communication with certain people in the industry here and there, and there was something that was really interesting. If I can find out where in the heck it is.
Oh, you look for it. That's what makes indie so great, though. And hope maybe I can hit you up later, Mike, and have you send me whatever those good games you're talking about are, because my son loves games. So I'd love to introduce him to that.
Yeah, there's one that I'm playing. I've played the hell out of it. I think I've got like 50 hours in it so far. Is Dusk. It's like it's a first-person shooter, but it's like Quake. It's like a throwback to all the like 90s games and stuff like that, and it's fucking phenomenal. Also, there's like a Crash Bandicoot-like game called not Psilocybin, but it's a parody of Psilocybin. Hang on. I think it's like Sybil Silent or something like that.
Cool. I'll let you look for it, but I'm going to break the news. I got it from an unnamed source here. I have it on good authority that Marie Javins and Jim Lee are leaving to do other things, and Marvel is ushering execs out the door. Here's the current situation. DC Comics is set to be shut down by first quarter of 2025. Massive company-wide layoffs are planned to take place as early as next month, May of 2024. Image has bought publishing rights off Warner Discovery for an undisclosed sum. Negotiations for this quote-unquote sell-off go back to before Warner and Discovery merger, reportedly as far back as 2020. Image plans to publish a very much slimmed-down version of DC Comics going forward and their universe, with there now only being 8 to 12 titles per month. Each title will be a giant-size issue of 101 pages made up of one major story, 3 minor stories, and reprints chosen by you, the reader. For example, counting down the top 12 issues featuring the Joker, Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, etc. The 101-page or one-on-one giant page DC Comics at Image will all be a part of a new company-wide relaunch of DC characters similar to the Rebirth or the New 52. A DC Marvel crossover has already been planned and is being prepared at the DC Image first event called Crisis on an Insane Earth. It will be written by Mark Waid. No word yet on what it is about other than it being 40-year anniversary tribute to Crisis on Infinity Earths and 30-year anniversary of DC versus Marvel. The Amalgam universe is also said to return along with fan favorites such as Spider-Boy, Super Soldier, and Darklaw. You heard it here first.
Comics?
Correct. They're buying out DC and their rights so they can publish them. And, this kind of makes sense because if you follow this whole shit about public domain, in the next couple of years, Superman and Batman are going public domain, and there ain't a fucking thing DC can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So they're getting out now before this shit happens, because pretty soon all of us will be able to write Batman stories at our leisure.
Oh my god. I'll be able to write the Batman versus Mickey Mouse story I've always wanted to tell. I've had
or
this in the vault
Batman
for
versus
years.
Mouseman story. Check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Batman comes in doing a drug bust and shit.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
But yeah, but I think the hottest take on this is Amalgam coming back. And if they bring back that Dark Claw character, the Wolverine Batman crossover hybrid character, that could be cool. And I mean, I believe in my source enough to where I've purchased about 15 copies of Dark Claw so far.
Where is Dark Claw? Like, let me look at this. Also, does Mindy have access to the private chat?
No, she's
Yes.
not on. Do you?
Yep, I can see. People can see.
Okay. Sometimes you're on your phone, sometimes you're not. I don't know.
Check out the link I just sent. That's also one of the games that he should check out.
Nice. Thank you. Ooh, that looks fun.
Yeah, it's like Crash Bandicoot. It's like $17 for a 50-hour game that someone gave a shit when they made it, instead of $100 for something that's broken.
You know, Ryan Howitt just wrote an article in the April issue of Comics Illustrated we just released yesterday about digital versus physical media. And right as this happened, Best Buy was pulling all of their physical media too, their DVDs, their CDs off the shelves. They announced in 2024 they're going to be getting rid of it.
Yeah, they're gone.
My son, we broke the news to him. You know, video games are going digital. You're not going to be able to like own them.
He was mad.
That's
he
fucking
was
stupid.
I know.
That means you don't. That means you don't even own it.
You don't own it. Yeah. That's exactly what I told him.
If it's something like Steam or like GOG or something like that, like you can download it and like put it on a hard drive or something like that. But as far as like stuff on the PlayStation, if you buy it and they're just like fuck this and take it off there, bye. Because I got GTA San Andreas for the PS4. It was back when they still had the PS2 one up there, and when the Definitive Edition came out, like it was bought and everything, they just deleted it and I didn't have it anymore.
No, that's crazy.
That's
I can't wait I can't wait for May to come around, because I'll know it's true what I've been told or not. Because if they start announcing a mass layoff of DC staff in May, we're gonna know right then and there.
I don't doubt that it's coming. I don't doubt at all that that's the truth. And, you know, I think it's interesting that he mentioned two things. One, Mark Waid, because he's been a point of contention and was really involved in like the early Comicsgate stuff. So I thought that was interesting. And I've always thought Comicsgate was funded by the mainstream. So I think it's interesting noting that. I think that they were trying to get out of it. So they were trying to find a fan base online, and that's what happened. That's like how it manifested, to try to tap into other people's pockets. But secondly, I thought it was interesting they mentioned Rebirth. Rebirth was a giant flop.
It was. There were more returns than anything.
It was bad. And Jim Lee, for the first time ever too, said if these don't sell, you can return them. We will accept returns on these books, which doesn't happen because Diamond and they don't take returns. You buy it as a retailer and that's it. The money spent. But Jim Lee put out a statement and said, I am so confident in these books that they're going to sell. Now we'll accept returns. And we were retailers at the time. We opened right as Rebirth was launching in 2015. That was one of our first big investments. And we returned at least 50% of what we bought. I remember stacks of them, like on the floor, just stacks, and we were getting our money back.
I think it's really interesting. I think what's people don't and see this presents a huge opportunity to people like us that are in the indie community, because once these companies go out, who's going to replace him? Who's going to pick up and carry the torch forward? Because, I mean, people are tired of these characters that are 60, 70, 80 years old. They want new shit. They want modern shit. They want good stories. They want fan fiction that it's going to take them to the next level. You can only do so much with characters that are dated, older than your father or grandfather.
Yeah. The newest thing I've seen about Batman that didn't just feel like another Batman story, because I think like Alan Moore and Grant Morrison and all that with like the Arkham Asylum comic, Killing Joke and all that, all the like unique Batman stuff was already done like 40 years ago, and now it just kind of feels like a regurgitation. The newest thing I've ever seen was that those pictures you see where like Shrek gets Batman pregnant. And I was like after that, I was just like, all right, we've done all we can do.
We've done all we can do.
We've
It's
reached the
over.
height.
Call it.
Yeah, we're done. We're done. We're done now.
Yeah, I agree. There's really not much you can do with him anymore. And maybe that's why the whole like woke stuff, I don't like really using that word because it attracts the comic state crowd, and that's not what I'm about. But the diversity stuff, like maybe that was just the last thing that they could think of to do, because what else could be done? And Stan Lee said, Mike, you tell me this, was it about Spider-Man? He said that like his characters should eventually die. They should always die.
He said he never intended on him to live as long as he did. He said he never intended these characters to be in such a permanent spot and to be recycled and regurgitated so many times in so many different ways. He said he actually disliked it. Mm-hmm. He was hoping that his stuff would eventually go away.
Yeah, because it loses the original meaning. When you regurgitate it that many times and you change it.
Have you seen? Oh, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, have you seen that video? It's called like The Day Spider-Man Died. It's about the one about like One More Day or something like that, where he sells his soul to the devil. It's about that, but it's also about like how everyone said that, or a lot of people said that after the graphic novel Spider-Man Blue, everyone just kind of stopped reading Spider-Man because every 10 years they reset it back to where he's in high school again. Like he like no one, like everyone's just like, yeah, this is a cool story and he's going forward, but in like 5 issues he's just going to go right back to the beginning, and it just feels pointless. It's like that picture of the dude with the boulder up the hill.
Yeah, and he's with MJ. He's not with MJ. MJ's with someone else, so she's not with someone else. It's just back and forth.
That
it's
makes
like
the
days
relationship
of our lives.
Yeah,
that makes the relationship so fickle. I've seen that complaint a lot about the Spider-Man universe, is that the MJ, she breaks up with him. They're supposed to have a kid, and like nobody's interested. In fact, the demographic that grew up on Spider-Man, I've seen a lot of people make fan art of Spider-Man with MJ, and they've both like maybe gained, like they're in mom dads and dad bods, or dad bods and mom bods. So they both had like they've had kids, you know, they put on a little weight and they have had kids, and they're enjoying their married life. Like that's the direction they wanted it to take, that they were happy with reading. But the way it is now, it's just like, oh, it's like a Taylor Swift song, you know, at this point. Like there's no validity.
Oh no, don't say that. Don't get the Swifties after us too. Fuck. We don't need that. You thought Comicsgate was bad. They ain't got shit on the Swifties. Holy fuck.
I didn't say her music was bad. Everybody knows she makes a lot of breakup songs.
Oh my god.
It's just fact.
I should I want to do a picture of Snoopy like on his doghouse, like, but instead of shooting down the Red Baron, it's Taylor Swift in her jet.
Oh god, I'm gonna get canceled tomorrow.
Oh my god.
There's one thing that's important to realize with all of these topics: the common denominator between video games losing the physical permanence, but indies are still around. The big two maybe just completely disbanding, moving their properties to Image with just a couple titles, but indies are still alive. You know, the common denominator here is going independent.
Well, see, and DC is facing this problem, this whole this whole what is it, public domain shit. They're facing this problem faster than Marvel, because the majority of the Marvel characters didn't. There were some, like Human Torch and a few that took place before the 1960s. But the majority of their IPs and their money makers took place in about 62 to 68, and they're safe for another 20, 25 years.
Yeah.
But DC, when did Superman come out? 1938. Like, they're not really too safe. It's in 2, 3, 4 years. That shit's hitting the streets.
And it makes more sense that people are doing the fan art and the cosplay covers now, because with that in mind, like, is DC gonna take some?
Why would they waste their money to sue you? Why would they waste their money?
Yeah, if in 2 years the property that you're cosplaying is going to go into public domain, are they going to drag you through court, which is going to take 2 years anyways, and then get what damages? What amount? Because it's public domain. You have to actually show, like, hey, this will damage us in the future. Like, this is a thing, that you can't go backwards. So yeah, that would explain.
Interesting to see what DC does with this, because I mean, they're going to be the people that are pretty much on the ground floor. Well, first Disney was, and you know what Disney did? They said, well, fuck it, there's nothing we can do. And most of these public domains and copyright laws, they were instituted by Disney. In fact, the actual law was referred to in Congress as the Mickey Mouse Law.
Yeah, they have their own.
That's what it was referred to. It was called the Mickey Mouse Law by the senators of the time, because they wanted to extend the amount of time that it took for a property to go into public domain. And they were very successful at doing that, but there was still a limit that they reached, and where people couldn't get the votes to extend it again. They tried several times to get it extended again. They tried, I think, under Nixon, and it failed. They tried under Carter, and it failed. They tried under George W., and it failed. Several times they tried to get it extended, and it still never did. So, I mean, they're going to be the framework. They're going to be the ones in the fire first. I think DC is. Because now when that happens, what suit is Marvel going to take going forward, say in 30 years? What are they going to do? Are they going to sell off to Image too? Or are they going to sell off to maybe Boom or Dynamite or IDW? I mean,
I bet Todd McFarlane is laughing his fucking ass off right now.
I think he's got to be. He's got to be, because him and Jim, they were some of the founding guys of Image, and then Jim left to go be with DC, and like now Todd's like, well, I bet you wish you would have stayed.
Yeah, I bet he's like doing the old, like, the show, like, welcome back.
Yeah.
I just remembered I can stream this to my YouTube channel as well, so I just did that. They missed the whole really good beginning of this stream, but
no. We currently have 504 viewers across all platforms right now. So,
jeez, are you serious?
With us, guys. Yes.
Oh,
that's insane. See, people don't realize Mike has been streaming to all kinds of platforms, and so he gets a couple views like recorded on the YouTube ticker, but it goes out. It has a lot more reach than it looks.
It's big.
It's big. Yeah. So this is a really good time to be indie, is what we're all saying. I think I've been telling Les this. We said it on the stream last night too, and we talked about it with Les at the show and Charles. That I think now is just a perfect time to be indie and to focus on growing your stuff, because I think the big two are going to start coming down and the indies will rise. So now is a perfect time. And it's going to be funny to watch all these people that, like, over the past 6 years of grifting and I'm going to raise $1 million for my books that I'll never deliver, and thinking that they're going to take on the mainstream and be the big bad guys, just shoot themselves
even though
in
it's
the
just
foot.
trace clip art.
Yeah, that too. Just shoot themselves in the foot. And then all the guys that have spent the past 6 years, like, working hard, or a lifetime working hard, and are now coming into it to actually put out good books, are going to be the ones rewarded in the end. But that's usually how it works, you know. That's a good one.
Oh my god,
perfectly done.
I need to see that. I'll take it to work with me.
Putting out books is fun. It's enjoyable. It's the best thing we've ever done. We're on our 1st year anniversary now, and when we started, we were both working. Mike was working. I was at home, but I was doing this at like the wee hours, 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. I was drawing boobs and stuff.
Pregnant. Sore, tired,
homeschooling 2 kids, cleaning the house. We were very busy, but we've over the past year, this is now our full-time job. This is what we do.
And speaking of which, I'm gonna do a shameless shill real quick. We have our next project that is launching on Kickstarter. It is called G Busters. It is a fantastic story. It is a nice little parody book. You guys are going to enjoy it. Country girl Katie inherits the Hugh Hefner Playboy mansion, only to discover it's haunted with the ghosts of its previous inhabitants that just so happen to be a bunch of dead porn stars.
Oh my god.
It is going to be a gorgeous book. We have tons of stuff going on right now. We currently have 303 followers on Kickstarter. We will be launching this in the next week. So if you haven't yet, please click this little button right here and say notify me on launch. We would very much appreciate it.
Actually, while I'm here, let me pull this up real quick.
Sorry, I accidentally dropped out.
I got you.
That's twice as many signups as we had for Boobs 1.
It is. It is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have 10 days left on this, and copy. Here it is in the private chat.
Sure, I will share it. You can also share your screen in our stuff. I don't know if you know that.
My computer is old. I'm getting one with my tax return. Every time I share screen on the last few podcasts I've been on, the whole thing just shuts down. So I will let you.
I will get it for you. No problem.
Do the honors.
And this is The Apathetic Mouse Man. It's my favorite book.
Yeah, I'm looking at the art right now too. I like that page with the
oh my
the
god,
opening.
I love this book. If you have not backed this book, you are missing out.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'm going to play the trailer. I don't care what you say.
I don't remember my name anymore. Maybe I never had one. The one thing I'm sure of is that I am God. And tonight, I will be dead.
Ooh.
That voice, that computer voice was just spot
Look at
on.
these covers. It is like cartoonist heaven right here.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Crumb was, is a big influence on me because, I just kind of relate with a skinny guy that was raised a Catholic and grew up to draw dirty cartoons.
You have a very awesome cartoony style.
It is gorgeous. I love this art.
Yeah, Mike saw it and was immediately like, "This is." Really
Mindy was like, "You want to put this in the magazine?" I said, "Yes."
No, I think that was another
immediately.
No, that wasn't Mike's Sears piece. That was a different piece I said that about. But Mouse Man, yes. No, I talked to Mike because I wanted to be sure when I first saw Mouse Man, he was really short. Mm-hmm. And he was giving a flower to the girl, and I didn't want it to be confused with a child in the book because we don't put kids in the book with our content. And then Mike was awesome.
Well, it said Mouse Man. Scruffy. I knew it wasn't a kid because it said Mouse Man.
Yeah.
well, he put some scruffies on his chin, and then it was just not to be confused. But because the book has nudity and stuff. You know, there's a no kids rule, but it's awesome.
Yeah, Rabbit Man, he is a kid. Mouse Man is 27 and a meth addict. It's
as he should be.
Yeah, it's a not a sequel, but it's kind of like in the same universe as the first series of Rabbit Man. Kinda, it doesn't, like, you don't really have to read both of them side by side to understand what's going on. They're totally different. But I'm doing this one called The Magnificent Rabbit Man, which is going to be a true sequel to the first 6 issues of Rabbit Man.
That's cool. Why the Mouse Man and the Rabbit Man? You know, what made you just think
it's kind of like well, it was a title born out of laziness, because
sometimes those are the best titles. Look at boobs.
Yeah, like I didn't like.
How
I didn't
in the
really
fuck
know what to
in
name
indie
it.
comics has no one ever come up with a comic called Boobs? I was like, I'll do it. I ain't scared. Fuck them.
Okay, sorry. Back to what you were saying.
But it was a very difficult book to come up with a name for. So I was just like, he's a little dude, and he's just like a rabbit man. There we go.
Man.
Yeah.
Whatever a rabbit can.
I
Yeah.
like Mouse Man. Like that title is one I've never forgotten.
Mhm.
From the first time I read it, I've never forgotten Mouse Man, and I think a lot of indie creators make the mistake of making their titles sometimes too elaborate or too obscure or too vague, and so that Mouse Man it's just cool. I've never forgot. I've never forgot what he looks like. And so I have to say, your character comes off a little iconic in that way.
It is iconic. It is more than iconic. It is going to be the next $1 million property. This man right here is going to be on Comedy Central one day, fucking doing cartoons like Ren and Stimpy, but better. Just watch.
And I'm gonna be doing stuff like Ren and Stimpy, but I'm gonna leave out all the texting young girls shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, John K went a bit too far on that.
I didn't know that was in Ren and Stimpy. Oh boy.
No, well, sorta. Like, it's weird. Like, watch the Happy Joy documentary. That's a phenomenal documentary, and it's about like the creation of Ren and Stimpy and a lot of like really bad stuff. There's a lot of like really fucked up people that work at Nickelodeon, I've noticed.
Carlos says, I backed this Kickstarter, as you should, sir.
Oh my god, thank you very much.
You really do have a talent for cartooning. And this is something, since I've been talking to Ryan Howitt too, and reading what he writes. He covered Dave Sims stuff at the Cerebrus and the last issue of Comics Illustrated, and it's just, I don't really do cartoon. I don't really I never really liked it. It's not something my brain like adapts to, but ever since I've been talking to him and then I look at your stuff, I really see that there is an art form to bringing out so much expression in something, in lines, just placing the lines in the right spot, making the right wrinkles, the right sweat drops. Like I'm looking at him here holding the gun with the apathetic. It's just beautifully done. The big gaping mouth on that page, and then I can even appreciate down here. It's maybe I should share my screen. The way you draw the faces is just, it's really good. Let me share my screen.
I've had a lot of practice. Like, because my biggest inspiration was Charlie Brown growing up, but my mom was like one of those like I don't give a fuck parents. Like in the worst kind of a way, but it still kind of helped me get to where I'm at. So I guess it wasn't so bad, but she would watch like really fucking violent like 1970s exploitation movies when me and my sister were like really small, with people like getting blown up and shot up. And then on the other TV, it was like Charlie Brown. And then somewhere along the way, it just sort of mashed together.
That makes sense. Wow. Like the way you drew this guy's face, I can like hear his words and see his expression. You did a great job. You're probably right. It probably is a combination of Charlie Brown and people getting chopped up.
Cartoonist, man. It's really
yes.
good.
Yes, which is very, very comic book definition. You know, that's where comics started, was in newspapers, and even Walt Disney himself started by cartooning.
Dude, you should really do like one of those fucking, what is it, like 16 color old school newsprints of Mouse Man, like in color. You should totally do that.
That sounds like a fucking awesome idea.
It's the thing is, now it's pretty expensive because all the newsprint stuff has gone by the wayside. There's very few printers that actually work and do newsprint anymore. So it's kind of a little bit more expensive than digital, but it would be so throwback and iconic. You could even upsell those covers and say, hey, the newsprint edition. You know, like I'm talking like the pages that, you know, you open up the comic and they kind of stick together from where the binders have grabbed them and forced holes into the pages, like the old school comics, man.
There was a comic publisher, like an indie publisher. I think it was called like Alta or
Alterna.
Alta, yeah. That was a few years ago.
Peter Samedi, he prints on newsprint. I was just about to say that. You might want to talk to him about like doing something.
I would talk to Peter and say, hey, can you run off like fucking 300 of these?
Yeah, he only prints on newsprint. They print all their stuff just on newsprint. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god,
that's a good idea, Mike.
See, that's why I get paid the big bucks. I'm the idea
man. Also, when I was just thinking about what you said about like some simplicity, like with just Rabbit Man or Mouse Man. Like you don't really need a lot. You just look at it and you instantly know what the book is about, even though they're both very different. The first not first one, but I was on a podcast. It was like back in December. I was really drunk. I don't remember, but I was talking to him because he said, "What advice would I have for like young artists or storytellers?" And the one thing that has always pissed me off the most is show, don't tell. Like, do not explain a character's million-year backstory before they even walked on screen. That pisses me off.
Yes.
It's just like, there's one thing about
narration will kill a story.
Yeah.
Like Mindy and I have this, like she brought on this writer. I'm not gonna.
No, I know. No, it's my mistake because I said add narration to help tell the story. So yeah, we've been talking in depth about this a lot, like the past couple weeks, Mike. And so I'm trying to educate myself better, and I'd like Mike. I still want to go to the bookstore or the library.
We're going tomorrow.
We should go, and I want to re-educate myself. I didn't grow up on comics.
I did.
I know you did, and I have to read more. I know that I've just like hit a cap where if I don't read more, I won't know anymore. And this solid piece of advice fell in my lap between Mike and an editor we've been working with. He said that same thing, Mike. He said, "Show, don't tell." And like ever since then, it's just like a light bulb went off, and I'm like, oh, snap!
No one wants to read 10 pages of narration to get to one thing of dialogue.
Yeah.
That will make me want to start a fucking pistol.
Have you what is it? Do you ever read Berserk? Or you know of it?
I have a copy right there, but I haven't read it.
One, I'm not going to spoil it, but just a warning I should tell you. It is really fucked up, but it's also beautifully told. Because it's about like a lot of fucked up things happen, but it's not just about the fucked up things. It's about essentially people dealing with trauma and how they like grow. It's like beautifully done. But one thing with Berserk, especially with like the first few things, I don't think there is a lot of, if any, narration for like the first couple of chapters. You just see a dude walk in, he's all fucked up with one eye, like one arm with a big metal arm and a big sword. You don't need narration for that. You already know some shit's gonna happen. It's what's that thing? The gun, like by the third act you have to use it or something like that.
That sounds familiar. That rings a bell, but I don't know the same.
It's like Chekhov's gun or something like that.
Yes, Chekhov's gun.
Sounds really familiar.
It's essentially a rule where, like, if you show a gun in the first act, by the third act you have to use it. How I do it is I'll show a gun in the first act, but by the third act they get hit by a car. Because I've always just like defying people's expectations about that. But nowadays with Chekhov's gun, like with the new Alien movies and stuff like that, the first act is them talking about how fucking awesome the gun is, and then they don't even show it.
Yeah,
I've got the red variant, the blank sketch cover. And I've got my buddy Andrew Thomas, who does Clerks and Quick Stop and Mallrats, all the Kevin Smith books. He's going to do a commission on that blank cover of this right here.
Oh,
Berserker! Berserker!
Oh my God!
How cool would that be?
That would be fucking awesome.
I know. And I'm going to get Kevin to sign it, and he's going to draw it.
Mike has good ideas.
That's what I do.
I think this is it. I'm going to unwrap it right now while we're on the topic, but I'm going to mute myself so I'm not all loud and obnoxious.
Okay. You know the movie Smokey and the Bandit?
Yes.
One idea I've always had for like, what if there was a Smokey and the Bandit Part 4? You know how, like, I know it's never going to happen, and if they did, they'd fuck it up. But if there was not a remake, but a sequel, like a Part 4,
yeah.
Considering how much the Bandit was like a massive man whore, I would want it to be like Smokey and the Bandits, and it's just all of his children. It's like the scene. It's just like the scene from like Smokey and the Bandit Part 2 with all the like with Jerry Reed, where he has all the big rigs and stuff like that. But instead of that, it's like 1,000 of the Bandits kids. It's like from everywhere, and they're all in like Trans Ams and shit. Because that would be fucking awesome.
And if 2 of them don't have mullets, we riot.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Like, there's just from so many, like every creed that you could possibly imagine, it's just like all the bandits. And I sometimes think like if there was something like that, that would be fucking awesome.
No. Carlos had a good point here. This is what I was talking about. Peter consistently complains about the rigors of newsprint and the cost plus the hassle, because the machines that consistently break down, and it tends to actually be more expensive, and the newsprint paper is hard to find. So yeah.
There's got to be a way. I mean, essentially, what you were saying is just like a lot of people who are in the indie comics, if you like and are seeing how all comics are tanking. Yes, comics are tanking right now, but like everyone is saying, it is now your time to shine. Like, because people still want to read comics.
We got a guest in the back, but hey, you got to fix your mic and your cam settings. You got to go to settings and fix that before we can bring you on.
Me?
No. We got a guest in the back, Mutual Alchemist.
Oh.
But it says his devices are not connected, so he needs to fix that in settings.
Did you
Make
guys
sure you go to settings and choose your webcam and your audio devices there, bud.
Well, you wait, don't miss those comments about the newsprint by Carlos.
I already did. I just said that. You were gone.
Oh, okay, sorry. I had to go find some scissors or something. I'm pretty sure this is Berserker right in here.
Is it like the one with the black cover, like the really thick one?
I'm not sure. I've had this sitting here for a while. Oh no, this is a sketch cover of it. I think you were ordering sketch covers of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
this one was
that's
damaged.
the one that's the one that I was
Mhm.
gonna send back because it was damaged. But
Ooh, it's
then
really badly damaged. Like,
they never
bad.
wanted it back. They just said keep it. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Probably because it's really badly damaged.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. It's pretty
It's-
messed up. That's why I said I actually ordered the one in 20, the red one. That's the one I'm gonna get done.
Oh well, since it's messed up, that means I can open it and read it with no qualms.
Yeah.
Is this number 1? This was
It is the first one,
Keanu
yes.
Reeves. Interesting. The dog is in here. Like, what are you doing?
Mutual Alchemist, you need to fix your settings there, bud.
Our kids are being really loud. Can you guys hear our kids?
I can hear them. They're going crazy.
I don't know what they're doing, but they're having a lot of fun. We should probably tell them to quiet down.
I did.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that was effective.
They're having fun.
They're having really a lot of fun doing something. Let's see. Yeah, well, I really can't wait to just read more comics. It's hard to find the time, but I like it.
Yeah, it's really good.
Mm-hmm. It definitely looks like Keanu Reeves. Definitely.
Oh, that's the Keanu Reeves comic.
Yeah,
It is.
Berserker, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. It definitely looks like him too. You mean you could tell immediately that it's him. I'll show you.
Yep. Totally is.
I really love how much of a hand in like pop culture he has had.
And he
He's a
is
cool
just like
dude.
the best person on the planet too. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, most definitely Keanu Reeves. There. Nice pages, nice panels. Nice a lot of action going on. There is that simplicity in his inking. It kind of reminds me of Charlie Adler. Who's the artist? Cover by Raphael Grandpa.
Raphael Grandpa, he's a top guy.
Hey, variant covers by John Boy Myers. Nice. We had him in the Comics Illustrated. I forget which month. It was
a month
January.
ago. I think it was
January?
February.
Might have been February. Variant covers by Raphael Grandpa. Again, I don't know how to say that. Mark Brooks.
And that's another thing. We run an indie comics news magazine. So
yeah, I know.
Guys, if you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. This is very cool. Go to comicsillustrated.com. It's very simple. If you're watching the stream, you probably already know that.
This is nice.
I will do a quick screen share here.
These are nice panels. Yeah, look at our beautiful website. We've redone our website too.
We have put a lot of time and energy in it. This is the April edition.
Mm-hmm.
We sit here and we work hard on this. We promote indie guys, indie creators, and every single one of our back issues are available for free to read. So please go utilize this. We give it to you for free because we love you. We don't hate you. If you can't afford to buy a subscription, we're still going to give it to you for free at the end of the month. Go to back issues, check out the bookshelf, click on it, pick whichever issue. We've done October, November, December. There's the winter special, January, February, March. You can even read March's right now. You click on it, bring it up on your screen, and you can flip through the pages and you can read it all completely for free right here. And yes, you can zoom in on it, make it bigger, do whatever you want to do, get in on it. 100% for free. It comes with previews, drawing tips, artist tips, writing tips. We have words of wisdom, featured media personalities. There's Faro Kane, veteran words of wisdom, one of the most prolific guys in indie comics when it comes to adult comics. So on and so forth. We work hard on this every month for you. We have a featured cosplayer. This girl is going to go far. Her name is Rachel Pizzolatto. If you don't know her, you should get to know her.
Have y'all ever worked with this lady called Loretta Vamps?
Not yet, no.
She's awesome. Like, I know her. She does like Catwoman and Harley Quinn and Hellraiser and stuff.
Ooh.
No.
What's her name again? Loretta Vamps.
Yes.
We fill out quickly too with this magazine with oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll look at her stuff. Its spots are competitive at this point. We book several months out.
They are.
Which is cool. And you know,
people have been getting work from the stuff that we put out. You know, all our cover artists, they end up going on to doing big, great things. We've gotten lots of feedback. I mean, we had Keith Curtis. He did a cover. He went on to do a variant cover for a very important indie comic. What was it? Blood and Sin, I think.
So I forget the name, but it has Sin in it. But it's by Corey Hardman, which you backed.
Yeah. And we got Les Gardner. He's got some doors opening up for him. Come C2E2. He's a culmination of his entire career coming up because of us getting him featured and putting his stuff out there and showing it to the right people. So I mean, Mike's been in our magazine.
And we went to print with Spring Fling today. I approached a printer and I'm getting a quote so I can send them the files in the morning for Spring Fling. We had a good feedback. Steven Houston said he's had good feedback for the magazine for being in it. He's in April's. The Phoenix Sisters Cosplay said they've been swamped with requests since they've been in the magazine from indie people. This thing is really something. It
is a promotion machine. That's all we do is promote you and your stuff, and we give it out to as many people as we can.
Oh, and
that's probably how I got my current deal.
Oh, maybe so.
Could be.
You know, Mike, the Spring Fling, which you're in with Mouse Man, you're going to get more exposure in it than you guys initially signed up for, because we decided to go to print today before Kickstarter pays us the funds. We're going to
We're going to go ahead and front the money, and we're going to take it to C2E2 with us, and you're going to be on the table, and everybody's going to get exposed to your stuff.
At C2E2.
Oh, speaking of that, do you want to see a sketch of the first page of the Magnificent Mouse Man? Rabbit Man?
Yes.
Oh, look at that perspective. Oof. That's a first page. That's a damn good first page to open on.
Yeah, that's the first page. They're all dead.
That's very captivating. Gosh.
Yeah, there's always a one thing that even my mom said: if there isn't sex or violence on the first page, no one's going to care.
Shane was crying hard. Who's Shane Davis? Yeah, probably.
Crying is the right word.
Crying is the right word with Shane. Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah. Hey, speaking of which, I did this on a stream the other day. Oh, what was last night? It could have been, but hey, wait! Breaking news. Down from Chicago downtown, I've got live footage of all the CG guys coming to C2E2.
A clown? Oh, well, I guess what's the big deal, huh? It's just one. Oh, I was quite sure it was just one from the size of the car.
Oh my God. They're out there doing the Lord's work.
I didn't catch that the first time you played it with the multiple clowns, because it's like the multiple guys behind the table.
He says, yep.
Oh, that's very clever. That's very clever, Mike. You know, here's what I thought too. Furthermore, on that point, I don't know how up to speed you are, Mike, on the C2E2, but they lost their table. C2E2 said they can't come anymore, and they're crying that it's a political discrimination thing, but there's no evidence that's been shown to such effect. They said this, but they also got them for subletting for people, multiple people with multiple companies behind one booth, which like everybody that does shows knows. that you're not supposed to have, and it's in the contract. So it's quite silly to watch this big fallout of this mob. They're sending this mob after C2E2. Oh, you're woke and all this, and it's just ridiculous. Shit, I forget what I was going with that.
I dare you to find anybody in the indie comic scene that is more conservative than I.
But conservative doesn't mean
I'm
these
going
people.
to
These people misconstrue what conservatism is. They're fake conservatives, like 99% of the time. These people that cry online,
they whine like SJWs. They use the same terminology as SJWs.
That's not like, yeah, it's just that's not what any of that is supposed to mean. I find that conservatives are actually very tolerant people, the people who actually understand what it is. So the innocent before proven guilty was my point. So that kind of ties into what the stream was initially about with Ed Piskor, right? Or am I saying that right? Piskor. So because he had a situation where he wasn't actually found guilty, like, didn't go to court. Like, he says that she was malicious. It's a sort of he said, she said thing. He even said that in his suicide note. It's a he said, she said situation. So you have to be very careful about believing innocent before proven guilty, because look at just what lengths it can push people to. I forget what my original point was, but it was something about the show. Oh, I realized that, we don't even know what happened on the phone call. What if C2E2 called him and was like, hey, we got you for subletting, right? You can't come. And then what if these guys who apparently think C2E2 is like some easy show to get in and out of have no idea that people wait their entire careers to get in this show. And it's a very well-established, reputable show. What if they go, well, sorry, you can't come to show your subletting. And then these guys go, what? We're Comicsgate. You want to have it? And start throwing out a card or start being really obnoxious or really disrespectful or threatening them on the phone. We don't know what happened. And then C2E2 comes back and says, well, I wasn't going to say anything, but we do also have complaints of harassment. The subletting was good enough, but since you're giving me all this attitude, I'll let you know we also had this too, and have a good day, sir. That could have happened. We don't know. There's been no proof. There's only been crying online. But that's another point I thought of is what if they don't want to show, the correspondence because they were sitting there threatening them and like,
I would
you don't know.
Say that's the case.
It could very well be. So the point is
people that are in the right don't hold back information like that. They instantly put it out for everyone to see because they know they're right and there's nothing that anyone can do about it. That's the thing.
Even the news media outlets that say that they're conservative don't represent it properly. There's so many just like grifters that are trying to ride the division instead of actually coming together. As I don't even see a need. I don't even believe there has to be conflict at all. that it's tyrannical to think that everyone has to believe the same thing.
Right.
The diversity of thought is freedom. Everybody should be able to have their own damn opinions and believe what they want. There's no need for the conflict.
Well, we've set a new record. We have 543 people watching.
That's fantastic.
Hey, everyone.
Yes. Hi, people.
You like my hat? My brother for me.
He does like older women, it says. So don't confuse this cartoonist with someone that you need to cancel, please. We don't need another incident.
I think I just have to say on this Berserker book, speaking of the simplicity, I would 150% say he looked at Charlie Adler for inspiration, the artist. I'm really good at calling people. I caught that Jamie Tyndall, Brett Booth tracing in like 0.002 seconds. I caught another instance of someone else's work recently. I'm really good at finding that, apparently. And I would bet money this dude looked at Charlie Adler and The Walking Dead.
I actually got something for Mr. Sears' hat there.
I got my fingers crossed for a little freaky deaky.
Hey, That was perfect. That was The Walking Dead and older women. You're the freaky deaky. You're quick, Mike.
Yep.
Doesn't that look like The Walking Dead? Charlie
It does.
Adler? It
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
I was studying Charlie Adler's style of inking. Even the clothing, the lines in the clothing there, talking about simplicity. I don't know, Mike Sears, if you know Charlie Adler's work. He started to do with Robert Kirkman in 2016. What was that one book they came out with together? Possession Demons.
Outcast.
Outcast. Yeah, the art on that is spectacular, and they even came out with an art book of it was 11 by 17 size.
The artist for Outcast. I gotta find out what his name is because this guy.
What? Oh, is that not Charlie Adler?
No, it's not.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Then
Yeah.
It's the Outcast artist, and he inks in just the style.
Outcast comic.
You might.
No, he does not. He is. It's Zedekiah. Zedekiah. This
That's
man.
right. That's right.
Zedekiah. His stuff has the best facial expressions. His name is Paul Zedekiah. Now I'm gonna bring up some of his stuff right here. This man has the best facial expressions in all of comics. I swear to God.
It's just like that. I swear he looked at him because so did I. And it's just the simplicity it's hard, Mike. Mike, you do a great job at doing these simple lines, but they're not simple. There's so much emotion in these lines. These black and white strokes of the face and the wrinkles.
That's the reason why I like doing simple characters.
Actually,
like Rabbit Man or Mouse Man. Like their face is just a circle and it's simple. So you can literally stretch it and do whatever the fuck you want with it, and it doesn't look out of character, and it really adds a lot of emotion to their face.
It's masterful.
Thank you.
Zedekiah. It was definitely Zedekiah. Did you not pull up the proof?
I'm working on it. I'm trying to find some good examples.
I swear to God,
That's Zedekiah's influence right there. And the art book was amazing.
We ordered some for our shop. I think we ordered like 3, and I just sat there and I just mulled through it. Just
look at that
in black and white. It was. I hope you can find the sequentials. I'm gonna try to find them too.
I've got them right here.
Oh, please. The way he does the shadows and looks just like this berserker. Who is that? I never caught the interior artist anyways. Illustrated by Ron Garney. You're too slow.
It's not pulling up. Like I'm clicking on it and it's just like it's this auction site where he's selling his shit.
Oh, look at yep, Zedekiah.
I gotta take one quick little break, but I will be right back.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's very similar artwork. I'm looking at just a Google.
Here's one right here.
Because there's better than that example that you have.
Here's another one.
That looks like it. Even just the cover of Outcast. Kirkman and Zedekiah.
Yeah, he does phenomenal work.
Looks just like it. Yeah, for sure. It really makes me appreciate something like Mouseman. Makes me appreciate what I have a hard time doing that. I'm more of a painter's mind where I have to shade things and scribble
here we go.
a lot. And
here we go. Here's a gallery of Paul's work.
Yeah, there you go. Paul Zedeca. That's his first name.
Paul Zedeca, yeah.
Mm-hmm. See if you can find faces or clothing. There's
this one where they're breathing in the spirit. I'm gonna find right here.
There you go.
Look at this.
Yeah, stay right on that page. Stay right on that page for me. I'm gonna find something. Oh, look at the.
Oh, we have a guest in the back. He's coming straight from the gym.
Where is it? There.
It is the man, the myth, the legend. Here we go. We got a little intro for you here.
Hey!
So you don't feel left out. Hang on, I got an intro for him. I brought him in before the intro, but here it comes.
Shame on.
That's that one. Mr. Raven Gregory.
Woo! What's
Dude,
up?
the signal here is so bad. All of you sound like Max Headroom. You remember that show with the computer thing back before computers were actually a thing and people were like, da, 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 da. Yeah, it sounds like that.
That's crazy, man. Well, you got to tell that gym to upgrade their Wi-Fi. I bet everybody's on it, though, listening to their beats, huh?
Dude, no, seriously. And like I took a couple edibles before I came to work out. So it's like I'm trying to decipher a weird language that I've never heard before. You sound like you're speaking Martian. It's amazing.
Hey, it's our 1-year birthday today of Divinity Comics.
Okay, so all I heard her say was, "Happy birthday, Raven. I heard you have a really pretty mouth in prison."
These are all accurate statements, regardless of who heard what.
How's it going, guys?
Good, man. How are you?
Good, man. Getting a workout in. Looking at you guys trying to take over the world over there.
Woo!
We try,
That's
man.
great.
We try. We do what we can.
Yeah. I've been wanting to get to the gym. I
Are
see
you
her
coming to
post all the
Chicago in a
time.
couple of weeks? Come on. You're coming to C2E2, right? You got to rep Zenescope. Come on. You're an award winner now, bud.
I'm dying, dude. It literally sounds like every time you talk, it sounds like somebody's playing a piano in my ear. But when she talks, it sounds like Martian. It's like, it might just be me because I'm in the gym. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer to that was.
I said,
Are you?
Now I don't know if you're doing that on purpose or not. I was like, wait a minute, is he fucking with me? I didn't. Oh, here we go. We got somebody else.
Hey.
Oh shit, Mike. I know Mike
Raven's
Sears.
having a hard time hearing us at the gym. We sound like Martians, he said. Oh, he had to drop.
He dropped.
Well, I hope you have a good workout, Raven. You should watch this later and then see what happened.
Yeah, wait till the edibles wear off and then come back on. Like every time you talk, all I hear is a piano going.
He said he took some edibles, and so he's having a good time right now. I'm sure. I haven't talked to Raven in years, like face to face like that. Long time.
No, Raven's awesome.
Yeah. So you got 4 titles right now, Mike.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. Not. Oh well, you too, Mike.
Well, yeah.
I do.
I meant Mike Sears. I meant that, Mike. But you also.
Yeah.
I
You
do
got
have
more.
4 titles right now. Yeah.
You got. Well, do we actually have 4 physical titles?
Comics
That's
Illustrated
3.
that puts out
Yeah.
monthly.
Yeah.
Boobs.
Yeah.
Trip Story.
Oh snap! We do.
G Busters.
Yeah, you're right. We do.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shit, son.
Yeah.
I
I'm
can't
5
count.
really because Puppet's coming.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Well, okay, and then the other Mike, you, Mike Sears, which are you launching them all at once, or are they for other people, or what's the scoop?
Okay, one is one that I'm working on for this guy. He's paying me to draw it, and someone else is going to letter it and color it. That one's not going to be out till I don't know when. But I'm almost done with that. But as far as like my stuff, I've got 6 issues of Rabbit Man. It's about like 300 pages long, a little longer.
Wow.
And I did Mouse Man. Also did another one that's currently up on the Lesser Known Comics website called Rabbit Man Returns. It was sort of like the comeback. But Magnificent Rabbit Man is sort of like the follow-up, not really, to that. And that's going to be coming out in May. It's going to be the 5th anniversary of Rabbit Man.
Nice.
Hey, Ryan.
What's up, Ryan? I just messaged you a little bit ago, Ryan. So
come hang out, Ryan. Get on the fucking stream. You got the link.
Yeah, get on. We never hang out or nothing because you're all the way up in Canada and I live in America.
And he's usually drunk, so watch out. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, Ryan.
I don't ever notice him drunk, but
oh my god,
yeah, this has been a fun stream. It's been fun. I'm glad we could take the tone up from the sad from today. And, you know, in that memory, it's awesome to see indie creators like yourself, because I really do think this is the time and place to be indie and to see where this goes over the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And the only people that are going to like really rise up, I think, are the people that are actually going to deliver books, which is awesome too. Like you can't fake that.
Raven, he was just on. He's too high to say it, but he just won a Zinni. That's a big fucking deal. He won a Zenescope Award for the best comic of the year.
Oh, that's awesome!
Yeah, for his return on the conclusion of the Wonderland story.
Wonderland. That it's been 14 years he's been working on that, I believe, and it's the final conclusion.
And he takes it out with class. So.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's really good, really good.
That's awesome. Zenescope is a very good company to look up to when it comes to.
Well, I mean, they fostered such good talent. I mean, you look at what Pat Shand is doing on his own right now, and several of the other guys that have gone out from Zenescope. I mean, you want to learn how to run a business, that's a good place to start. It's a hell of a good place to start.
Yeah.
And you can look at the opportunities that it's afforded Raven. You know, he's gotten into stand-up comedy. He's had some talks with Hollywood. He's a prolific writer. He's fantastic when it comes to poetry, and I mean his joke telling's on par. He's a really good talent too, and I mean he developed all of those skills while working with Zenescope.
Pat Shand is
Shand is a promotion machine. He learned from Zenescope. Like they pump it out.
He's awesome. I've been watching him, and I first met Pat Shand I think at the like face to face at San Diego. Must have been 2015 or 2016, and he was just the nicest guy. I loved meeting him at the show, and not everyone was that way. So he really stood out to me then. And then I remember on Twitter sometime over the years, I mentioned having trouble with publishers, and there was all this drama. And he reached out to me once and said, try this publisher, or I've had luck here. And then next thing I know, here we are a couple of years later, we're talking to Pat Shand again, and he's just done all this amazing work. Like he was just pumping out titles. He's a machine. And it's funny how like he was nice the whole he seemed like a good person from the beginning, you know, and not everybody is that way. Not everybody is professional. So that's been substantiated over like 10 years now that Pat Shand is awesome in my mind.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of guys out there that are that way. A lot of the old school guys, a lot of the older guys, a lot of the people from my generation are like that. A lot of them, most of them, and my generation and older, you're pretty spot on to deal with people like that.
Jim Shooter was another one I really enjoyed
Yeah,
talking
Jim.
to. A lot of the good ones have passed away now. We've talked about that before. Herb Trimpe, Neil Adams passed away. There's been quite a lot of them from speaking of older generations that came before that are gone now. So now is the time to rise up and be an awesome indie creator for sure. I think it's just going to be more in our favor every day from here on out.
Well, it's got to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun work. Who doesn't want to go home and create?
Yeah, it's like a really amazing feeling. It's like, I think Stan Lee once said it, like, it's just really cool to see something like out in the world or someone talking about something and just like, I did that. It's like a really amazing feeling.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we got a comment here. Rest in peace, Ed. My condolences to his family and friends, and to Jim, who, aside from his family, is going through unimaginable anguish. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a sad situation. Internet bullying. And it doesn't ever go away. I've seen some interesting, like, people get afraid of the internet bullying. Ooh, hang on. Someone just sent me something. That has to do.
Was it a death threat?
No, it was something. It was like an Ethan tweet, but I can't see it. Oh, hang on.
Tell him to screenshot it, because Ethan has us blocked. He doesn't like us.
Oh, okay. I gotta.
You want to know why EVS doesn't like us? Like the biggest reason, one of the biggest reasons. I can show this to you because I don't care. Okay, so we're gonna go to our website real quick. The other one, not Comics Illustrated, but we'll go to Divinity Comics here. We're gonna come over here. We're gonna go to our titles. We're gonna click on boobs too, and we're gonna scroll down just a little bit, and we're gonna say, "What is this?" That's a fun little book. Nice little homage there. And I bet you can't give you two guesses who that might be.
I'm not sure.
I'll tell you, it's an original character created by us. His name is Gaylord von Schlauber.
Oh, well, he looks fucking awesome.
Doesn't he? He's fabulous.
I know.
I have a statue. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get that screen cap. Gaylord is my favorite character ever, actually. He's like a fantastic original character of absolute fabulous villainy.
Fabulous villainy.
he's so funny, man. And on the note of Ed Piskor, Mike and I turned all of the trolling we've ever been through into a positive, laughable, fun experience for us. That's what
we put it into boobs. And
yeah.
Boobs is a double entendre. If you look up the definition of boobs, it also means stupid people. Okay, so it is about a journey of a cosplayer who goes into the comic book industry and the convention scene, and she meets all of these ridiculous clown people that are boobs. And if you read the comic, if you read through boobs, you will notice more and more recognizable faces than you would imagine. And we parody everyone in the industry, and we make fun of them because that's what we do.
It's the best thing we've ever did. It's
like our Chasing Amy.
Gaylord von Schlaubers.
Carlos says, I got attacked by the mob in regards to my only comments on Ed when the allegations first broke. And then they tried to drag me into the drama. So I had to delete and bail. People can act like piranha. Yes.
Hey, Mike, open up that screenshot I sent you.
I will.
That was right. Like I said, Ethan was. I saw a screen cap on Twitter floating around of a tweet he did saying
In my messenger, yeah, right here
on Facebook. Basically, ha, it's an April Fool's joke. He's not dead. Like laughing at someone who just committed suicide is going to bring you any good vibes. Good luck with that karma. But then this. Someone just sent me
what
this.
What does that say? Oh wow. Let's see if I can. I can't zoom it in any more than that.
I can read it.
Says absolute cowardice. Ed Piskor is a piece of shit, and it is pretty apparent to most people that he was grooming that teenager. But Jim Rugg is supposed to be his friend. Make a statement denouncing his actions, but that you're still his pal. SJWs have no loyalty. They're just.
And then I can't see the rest of it. No, the good thing to observe about this whole hot mess here is that he is not abiding by any conservative value whatsoever. He is not abiding by innocent before proven guilty. He's basically persuading people. This is a biased statement. He's calling someone a coward for apparently committing suicide. And then he says it's pretty apparent to most people that he was grooming that teenager who basically, it seems the other side of the story is that she Me Too'd him. So there's not the truth is not all out there, but he's saying go ahead and it's apparent, like so he's showing his bias.
I got something for Ethan. Calm down, Evan.
But okay, and then and then make a statement denouncing his actions, but that you're still his pal. I don't know if he's telling Jim to make that statement, but isn't that what he claims the SJW mob that he's against does, is force people into like bowing down and apologizing and bowing the knee? Like all of that tweet is absolutely ridiculous and hypocritical.
Ethan is a piece of shit, and that is documented fucking fact. This man has thrown every single person that he's worked with or gotten close to under the bus. Let's go down the fucking list. Doug TenNapel, Mike S. Miller, Tim Lim, War Campaign, Eric July, Matt Barr. How many more bodies are you going to lay at your feet, you piece of shit?
Kelsey, Shannon, me. There's been many others that I've lost track, but it's a verifiable pattern that's gone on now. And apparently it's been going on before Comicsgate. Many years backwards. I've seen those threads. Someone came out and posted a whole thing.
There you go. What a piece of shit. Exactly.
And you're not going off of, because I don't want to be hypocritical here. I want to be clear. Posting emails, posting screenshots, linking, posting your proof, posting backup. It's not just a he said, she said, Me Too thing. That gets innocent people in trouble. That makes innocent people targets of harassment. But not only now is there many, many years of verifiable behavior with Ethan's pattern, but there's evidence of going back even farther than that. So I encourage everybody to do their homework because it is out there.
Getting funded by Dynamite, donating to Black Lives Matter. Dude, I can go on and on and on about this guy.
You can't. It's not civil to grift off of someone's suicide. All you can really.
I'm pissed. I'm pissed about that. That just fucking makes me mad.
Yeah, well, you don't get mad often, so that's saying something. But you can't. I don't think even whatever your thoughts are on suicide, if someone ends their life, that's a damn serious thing. You can't imagine what sort of human moment and feelings that person was going through to get to that decision. So whether or not you think suicide is cowardice, you still have to have some sort of human sympathy for someone going through that much pain. that they would want to do that to themselves. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, and then his
You shouldn't-
family's also got to read that shit that you fucking post, you fucking turd.
Sorry, Mike's ears.
That's fine.
It's a hard topic. Yeah. I'm hoping someone sends that other tweet about him joking. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Someone says to me personally, I'd say the majority of, quote, conservative influencers, quote, are no more conservative than the politicians who call themselves conservative yet vote more progressive. Yeah, I mean, nobody really like follows what that's supposed to mean. All it's supposed to mean is that you just have morals and you don't move from those morals. But that doesn't mean progress can't be made. I'd love to go into depth about this on my own channel sometime, but I feel there really, again, doesn't need to be conflict like there is between people of different persuasions at all. It's just exactly, Mindy. Duh, what you said is exactly that. Carlos is fun.
Yeah. I'm behind. I'm just fucking mad, dude.
Yeah, you say you got a little quiet. Yeah. Because of that tweet, because of him saying that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of shit that happens, you know, behind the scenes, especially when it comes to guys that, you know, as a guy, if you weren't a fucking, I want to say the word, but I can't. Starts with an F, ends with a T, has two G's in the middle of it.
But is meant
if you weren't that, you'd understand that men don't deal with shit the same way as everybody else. We bottle shit up and we fucking take it. We go to work every goddamn day. Doesn't matter how we feel, what we have to do. We provide for our families and we do the best we fucking can. And there's no one here to say, oh, poor you, you're going to get better later. There's no one here to come at us and say, hey, it's going to be okay tomorrow. We just have to bottle that shit up and fucking take it every goddamn day. And there's too many guys that are out there that commit suicide on a daily basis because of stupid shit like this, because of stupid fucking women. And I'm not saying that this chick is a stupid woman by any means or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, men have to take a lot of bullshit that they shouldn't have to fucking take. And there's no one here to coddle us or hold our hands and make us better tomorrow. Sometimes the only way out we think is either a bullet or something else. And it's fucking sad. And you know, you look at, you know who would be a perfect person to talk about this shit would be Raven. The tragedy he's gone through in his fucking life on a daily basis, losing his fucking wife, the mother of his kids, in a tragic accident, and then having the balls to wake up every fucking day and provide for his daughters and put out the content that he fucking does. Dude.
Yeah. I'll clarify for the audience, the F word you meant is not actually meaning any sexual orientation. It just means mean person. In the very
bitch.
in the
bitch.
In the generational context.
In my generational context, it means you're a bitch.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything else. But you know, the men's suicide rates are extremely high, much more so than women. Yeah. For those reasons that you stated. That is verified.
A friend of mine, I don't know why, like I never did find out the reason why, but a friend of mine killed himself back in 2022 and that fucked me up for like a year.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Ugh.
Yuck. What a sad, that's a sad topic. I'm sorry about your.
Well, like, I don't know. Like,
those were hard years.
Cool guy. Oh yeah, like 2020 and all that. Like, fuck that. Like, that was especially hard for me because like the house got bombed by the cops and shit like that. It was just like fucking awful.
Damn. Yeah,
House got bombed by cops. Now you have my attention.
Yeah, well, my sister's ex thought he was protester Batman, and he got us all almost fucking arrested, and he ended my sister up on probation, even though she didn't do anything. It was just because they thought she knew shit, and he was just like a fucking idiot. I don't even know what the fuck he did, but it pissed the cops off. And my girlfriend at the time and her 2-year-old was there, so that sort of fucked things up. Everyone was all right though. But yeah, it was just a fucking shit all around.
Yikes. I think 2020 messed people up just as a whole, and that lasted like a while. It lasted for me like 2 years because like I was telling Mike, I don't think you're on the stream yet, but there were a bunch of weird radical white supremacists like in the years 2020 2020, 21, 21 and 2022. And I was noticing it. They were contacting me because they saw I was an artist and I leaned right, and they were forming groups that was like fighting against the woke. So they were trying to create white culture, and it was like so just I was telling him to screw off and no, and I was blocking them. There weren't that many, but there was enough to like also screw me up because I noticed that was all obviously the result of 2020. So to see that aftermath, it was just like, God, jeez, man, people get over yourselves. Like, but it really
like,
that's what Ed Piskor said too. He said that he was messaging that girl. Don't know the full details, but it was during the year 2020, during the lockdowns, because he was lonely and he couldn't talk to anybody, and they were just talking.
And that shit was tough on everybody, man.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever seen anything like that happen that is currently fucking alive. You know, not since like the influenza pandemic back in like the early 20s. Has anyone seen anything remotely close to this?
Yeah, the LA riots too. Yeah. But even though the LA riots was so local, this was everywhere.
Yeah, this was everywhere. It was across the
world fucking wide.
And I remember as a truck driver, it was the greatest thing. I could get in my truck and I could drive like nonstop through. I could make it through downtown Chicago in 30 minutes, dog. Like, there is no one there. Like, you could steal fucking City Hall.
Jesus Christ.
It was like, it was Walking Dead. Like the opening credits of Walking Dead. There was like no one on the road ever. For months, it was like that.
I'll like you know that documentary I brought up. It was I don't remember. It was Vice, but apparently a lot of neo-Nazis saw it because when I was out there, because my girlfriend wanted to go, and we would go and like check it out because we wanted to like see what was going on, and I was just like approached by a bunch of people like neo-Nazis who just knew who I was, and it was just like, oh fuck. So I just like stopped going outside. Yeah, it was like fucking weird and I didn't like it.
It was weird. It was like a bunch of Nazis started coming out of the woodwork in those years. It was so weird to me too, as I'd never talked to one before. And I was like, what the no, get out of here, man. This is America, and it's supposed to be a melting pot.
We got a comment down there from Dustin. He says, "What's up, guys? Finally had time to stop in. He's been at work. It's fucked up what happened with Ed. I'm not sure what I think about it, other than it's a huge waste, and I think he could have come out of it. From what I've seen, he didn't actually break any laws. Maybe he did some shit that he shouldn't have, from a lot of people's perspectives, but still not illegal. It's sad, really is. You guys rock."
Look at the comment above that too. Don't miss that one, Carlos.
Yeah, I already showed that. You weren't paying attention.
Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of people got really sick too, almost lost their lives. It's been crazy town. It's been a different world. And yeah, Dustin, I agree with you. I think it's sad that I kind of think maybe he could have come out of it too. And so the fact that he felt that he couldn't come out of it just makes it all the much more tragic. It's like Mike and I have endured massive trolling and slander, right? Like, and we still see it. People call us scammers. now, funny enough, over time, like the oil is separated from the water, and I know who's gonna say it, and they either are our competition, or B, they don't like our politics. And it's almost always 100% of the time stemming from a Rob Liefeld post back from 2016, who is a giant cokehead. And like, apparently Rob Liefeld's done this to a bunch of people. That's also been coming out over time. So I feel totally like, what's the word, exonerated? Does that mean like cleared? Like our reputation has been cleared? And anybody who spouts out the slander is just has really bad intentions, just wants to harm us, and it doesn't stick. But it took a long time. It took 10 years from initially being trolled. It's almost been 10 years. But we came out of it. But with Ed, he's had spent a lot more time making comics than we have. And he said in his last words that his whole identity was comics. Like, he attached himself so deeply into it. So to feel that he was ruined, he's like, I already know what's happening.
He had all the people closest to him say, hey, we can't have anything to do with you anymore. And you know, that these are people you trust. These are people that you've worked with, that you're supposed to have had this relation, and they won't even stand up for you. They're like, you're too toxic. We can't even talk to you or be seen talking to you or even come around you anymore. And so it's like his life was just completely fucking ripped from him.
Yeah. And Mike and I had that happen. We had a whole bunch of friends back in 2016, and then there was so much drama with the shows, and people were like, oh, I can't talk to you because this and that. And it was so stupid. So that was painful. But I think Ed had it probably worse. I don't know. Being that he was so emotionally attached, and he's already come out with all these books, it was probably worse than what we went through
by a lot.
By a few folds.
I mean, every single person that he's worked with or has a relationship with has said, hey, we can't even be seen next to you. And these are people that he was probably closer to than his own family.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like he basically, like, it's almost probably felt to him like everyone in his life died. Yeah. Like, except for his own, a couple of family members, his parents and sister and stuff. That's probably what I imagine it felt like. So at that point, you're like, well, what I you feel like your life is off too. I can relate to that feeling a little bit actually too, from other, personal endeavors, and that's not a good feeling. So very sad. And so I don't think he wanted to come out of it, is probably the conclusion.
Well, Carlos made a point here. He said he's never coming back. He took the worst way out. And there's absolutely no coming back from what Ed did, but he said he wanted to control his own narrative, and sadly he did.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's like fucking terrible.
It is. Yeah, it's just a sad story all around.
All of it because of fucking news outlets, and not just news outlets, certain groups in the indie comics community that think that they can dictate what's right and wrong, what's moral and not moral, and can convict someone based on hearsay instead of an actual court of law.
And he did say he was chatting to her. He found out she was 17. But then in his end notes, and I don't know their conversations, but like I said, I saw like what she was posting on Instagram. And people are saying, oh, he's a creep. And he gave her a couple of comments, like, I don't even remember what they were, but they were, as a woman, you can get a lot worse than that. I don't think it's right to flirt with a 17-year-old. So, there's that. But at the same time, again, it you got to take that stuff to like have a fair trial. And I don't necessarily believe that you should always believe the woman no matter what. I don't know if he even knew if she was 17 at the time he made those comments. We don't know. So now we'll never know, probably. And sometimes women are at fault for flirting, and then they'll come back later and say, oh, well, he was flirting with me and I didn't want him to, and he's a creep and he's bad. But in the moment, they were flirting with the men. So there's that problem, and that's a whole problem I could get into for another day. But that's a prevalent problem for sure. That women don't
understand me at your booth. It'll be fun.
So I don't know. I think there's a lot of factors here, but regardless, someone taking their own life is just a tragedy. So
yeah. Oh my God.
I do not think anything. From what I read, nothing physical happened between them when she was a minor. I think it was only the sort of mild, maybe flirtatious little comments that they DM'd each other during the year of 2020. And I still don't know if he knew that she was 17 when he made those. Do you see the problem? So I can't say that he knew.
Carlos brings up this point, but I don't care. Like, and see, this is where the old school me comes in, and I don't think that it is appropriate at all for any guy to be talking to any girl under the age of 18. Flat out. Like
I agree with you.
I don't give a fuck what the laws say. I don't care. I'm old school. I don't give a fuck what the laws say. The laws can say one thing. They could write a law tomorrow saying that 13 is okay, and I'm gonna say no, it's fucking not. That's just me, and that's my stance. I have a moral compass, and I'll stay true to that regardless. I mean, people that have watched me and know me over the years know that I will tell you flat out how I feel and my position on things, and I'm telling you right now that ain't okay. So, but regardless of that, I don't think that he should have been in the position he was in, forced into that position by the overlords or the upper echelon, as some dipshits like to say in the indie comic community of comics, to go to a dark place like that, to where he felt that there was no recourse. I don't think that he should have had everyone that he's associated with, past, present, or future, removed from his life instantaneously because of something that was alleged and not proven. I mean, let it play out. And if that is the case, then, you can have a conversation about that, whether or not it's illegal. I would have still told him, hey, I think it's wrong, but that's still my opinion. I'm not going to condemn the man for it. I'll just hold that opinion. And I might think twice before ever hiring him or doing something like that. But, that would be speaking with my wallet and my morals rather than condemning a man to death because of something that was perceived.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. And that's what I got when I saw the Instagram stuff. It seemed very perception based. There was no, she's saying this guy is a creep. He said this to me when I was 17 and I was reading the screenshots, but she was flirting with him. And that's all I saw was her flirting with him. And then he responded with one compliment, which was not like a dick pic or anything. So again, it was so out of context. I said, this is just this is a he said, she said. I don't know. Where's the proof that he knew? Where's the proof of when this happened? I don't know anything about this conversation. It's just some random message. There was so many holes to be filled in before I could also condemn him.
And see, this was a complaint too that we addressed recently as well with the whole Antarctic Press Ben Dunn situation. The girl apparently on the Kickstarter. You can pull it up right now. In fact, I will. I will do it. It should be shown. It should be shown, and I think it should. You're gonna go up here. You're gonna look at Kickstarter. You're gonna go to Tomorrow Girl, right? The very first one. And I will go ahead and show that for you. And see, the good thing about Kickstarter is it's an archive.
It's frozen in time forever. Ha ha.
Frozen in time forever. You can't take this away. So we will come over here, and the age of consent's 16, right? Mm-hmm. Do I give a fuck? That is the question. A normal 16-year-old girl gets endowed with powers. Endowed, that's a nice choice of words. That's questionable. All right, and then you scroll down and you look at the stuff that came out on that. Now you have a 16-year-old girl right here undressing. Is that appropriate? But here you go with the argument again. The age of consent. Do I give a fuck what the age of consent is? The answer is no. Is this inappropriate? Yes, should not be on this fucking page. You continue down and you look at her. She's a very young girl and she is portrayed in a way that I don't think is appropriate. And they're like, well, cultural differences, manga, all that shit, anime. Again, I don't give a fuck what they did in Japan. Just like I don't care if they dive bomb our goddamn ships. You know, that's their culture. They want to commit suicide, dive bombing ships in Pearl Harbor. That's theirs. Let them do it. But as Americans, we don't do that shit. You know, there's a line of moral and just and right, and there's some shit that we just don't do that happens to be done over there. And this is the biggest thing I have a problem with right here. This is a 16-year-old girl. A 16-year-old girl. Do I care what the age of consent is? That's the defense they used. No, I fucking don't. That is wrong.
I wish I could pull this entire hat over my entire body. Like
I'm trying to accomplish that.
Straight up, that's wrong. I don't care. You could say, oh well, it's a type of culture. It's over there. They call it lolly, and it's acceptable. Do I give a fuck what other people do?
Actually,
you know what else is acceptable? Cutting people's heads off in fucking Afghanistan. Do I support that? No, but it's culturally acceptable over there, right? Use some common sense.
And actually, a lot of that stuff is illegal. The LOLI word. It's I think it's an excuse. There's some people that grew up in the East that read our books, that talk to me, and they say over there, it's that's just an excuse people over here are using. It's not actually what's acceptable over there. They're
slide that
exaggerating.
Overton window over just a little bit more, just a little bit further.
They're taking advantage
and
of
I'm the motherfucker over here that's going to put my foot in that window and keep it from fucking sliding.
And that's exactly the true definition of conservative and organic society. You build on what works and you hold on to that. That's it. It's not tied to abortion or marriage or anything. It's not.
There is no society. If you cannot stand up for children and say that's wrong, there is no. What are we doing here? Why are we here?
I agree.
That's the one thing about why when I was younger, why I always gravitated towards older women. One, it's what I like, but I grew up in the South, the deep South, and I even went to New Orleans and stuff. It was just super fucking common where I was at to see a 19 or a 20-year-old girl with 4 kids, and it weirded me the fuck out ever since I could remember. I never even got with underage people when I was underage. It just was no, I will castigate you in front of your peers and call your parents.
Dustin says, part of me wonders if this was all attention on her end, but on a personal level, I don't know either one of them. Cancel culture needs to be abandoned and people should just be smarter. Yes. Truth over feelings, and 40-year-olds definitely shouldn't be flirting with teenagers, and half-nude kids shouldn't be in comics or any other media for that matter. Correct.
100%.
Winner.
Yeah. And see, that was what was so interesting about the Ben Dunn campaign was that everything was there. He just pulled up the campaign. It says she's 16. There's the artwork. And then Ben Dunn himself posted that Kickstarter rejected his campaign for, quote, sexualization of a minor. And says they don't support exploiting minors or having any of that sort of thing. So every time Mike and I say something, you'll notice that we have waited until the evidence is there. And that is not supporting cancel culture by doing that, by making sure that all of everything is there and there is a valid logical conclusion, or there is some sort of due process, the best to your ability. And that is not supporting cancel culture by doing that, because cancel culture means right, people sometimes have different definitions, but it's ostracizing somebody, canceling them, and it's antithetical to justice. So yeah.
Not to mention, there's a lot of people who have come back from that. Who was that guy? Shane, who's this fuck?
I don't know.
Shane Dawson or something
Shane
like
Dawson,
that.
yes.
Yeah,
And
like
also,
he did a bunch of like deplorable stuff and like minstrel shows and like doing weird skits where he put like this puppet who's supposed to be like 8 in like sexual situations and everyone canceled him. And then like a year later, he came back with saying, "Oh, I'm sorry," and now he's back. Like nothing actually happened.
Interesting. Well, that's interesting.
Who was the one that was on Batgirl? Cameron Stewart.
Oh yeah, Cameron Stewart. Yeah.
Cameron Stewart. He went through the same shit.
And he had to leave for a while. He had to take.
He left, yeah, and then he said, "Oh well, I'm sorry and all this. I'm gonna get therapy. I'm gonna work on myself and all this." But he did the shit. He did the shit. So
also, Dan Schneider, who's been being talked about again, that Nickelodeon executive who did a bunch of weird like fucking like foot fetish stuff with 16-year-old girls, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm a millionaire. What are you gonna do about it? Sorry."
Yeah, like Trump, grab him by the pussy, right?
You know, people do take personal time. I've noticed when you get canceled and stuff. Ed, yeah, Dustin, it's the innocent before proven guilty. That's why I can't condemn people that I don't know the full story of. I really hold off on that.
This right here.
Yeah, that's right. So what I think Ed flirting with the 17-year-old is wrong. But I still don't freaking know what he said when she was 17. So he said he shouldn't have been talking to her. That's what he said in his suicide note. But he just said talking. I don't think he said flirting, or maybe there was, but he did mention that there was a timeline and it was after fact. Still, he was 40, still is gross. That's why he should just not talk to people online unless you're like, you know,
there you go.
Like there's your intentions. So yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I still don't for a fact know what was said. I can tell you as a woman.
The thing again too, like it's the digital culture that we live in that has made it so prevalent to talk to people online, and you can form bonds with people without even knowing you're doing it, and that's it drives me crazy that people are so fixated on this online world that we live in that they forget about reality. I refuse to date, talk to, or get involved with anyone that I don't met in person. Mindy, where did we meet?
Oh, at a Irish pub.
I don't do the online shit. I don't have to do the online shit. And I realize some people, they think they do because they're shy or they're withdrawn, they're antisocial, there's excuse after excuse after excuse. But dude, get your ass out to a fucking bar or a place where you want to meet a woman. Go to a grocery store and talk to a girl. Don't get involved with this online shit. That is a big lesson. That is a big lesson for today. Just don't do it.
You never know who they truly are, for one. And two, if you're talking to someone that doesn't live by you, how are you gonna date them? That's another really big, obvious obstacle. Yeah, I completely agree. If you're really meant to be with someone, if you believe in that too, then just go look for them. You'll find them, like they're accessible.
There are people out there that are real, that you don't have to worry about documentation getting dug up on you. I mean, fuck, who wants that?
Yeah. Oh, here's Dustin. From what I dug up,
most of what I dug up, he seemed to be trying to sway her at keeping on with her drawings, but who knows if that's even true. He could have spoke up with her by other means, and none of us know about it. I met my wife at one of my band shows, which was also at a bar. Online dating is for chumps. Yeah, see, there you go.
One of my favorite shows is 90 Day Fiance, because they always meet each other online and they're like getting catfished 99.9% of the time.
Wreck.
It's so fantastic. I love that show.
She's got me watching this shit now, and I'm like, dude, I just want this bitch to get on a plane and leave.
I know, that Russian chick. She's like, so you're just telling me you're marrying me for my money? Yes. And
no.
it's so funny.
No, bitch, I'd make you buy me drinks. Fuck you. Nah, man.
Yep.
Ain't about that life.
It is weird. It is weird that he was talking to her online. But again, I don't know. Dustin doesn't know. Nobody seems to know.
Nobody
knows. And that's what drives me crazy about this situation. What if she messaged him? What if she was always bothering him?
What if she started it?
No.
What if she kept doing it?
I'm always asking the we don't know question. And without that due process, you just cannot convict anybody. It's like if you had children, right? I'm a mom of 15 years now. So when my kids come up and have a problem, I have to ask them questions. Who did this? And so I can't always believe what they're going to say, right? Especially
they
when
all lie.
Like they all, it's right. And so I have to investigate, right? I have to actually investigate what happens. And then I have to base their behavior and I have to see. And sometimes like nobody's right. Sometimes they both think something happened and nothing happened at all. So yeah, it does seem like it was on both ends. I have a really hard time reserving judgment because to the other side of it for me is being a woman. I've had people creep on me, and they usually on the screenshots I saw, there wasn't very many. What he saw was like, yeah, it was kind of inviting, but honestly, if you're gonna go full level creep, there's a lot worse things.
Kids are assholes.
People say kids are. There's a lot creepier from what I saw. There was a lot. I don't know. Maybe there's more creepy stuff out there, but from what I saw on Instagram, that was pretty tame as in the life of a woman. From what you can be sent, that was very tame. So yeah, there's that. That's. I don't really believe women are very smart when they're young, or men. You shouldn't really date anybody until your prefrontal cortex evolves.
I think we need to show Mouse Man one more time. Bring the mood up a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
We have 600 people watching right now, and I know they want to see Mouse Man because they have to.
Mouse Man and G Busters, because I really would love to see
Mouse Man first.
Definitely Mouse Man first, and then G Busters, which is 303 followers.
If you guys have not backed this Kickstarter, you definitely have to. This is from our panelist Mike Sears. It is a fantastic title, The Apathetic Mouse Man. Right now, he is at a meager $642. Let's get that stepped up for him tonight, please. He has 24 backers. There's 600 of you guys watching. Come on. Hook this guy up. It's got 10 days to go. Back this project. It is fantastic. Great art. Cartoonist to a T. This man is going to be doing some great things in the future. Let's go ahead and play the trailer one more time.
I don't remember my name anymore. Maybe I never had one. The one thing I'm sure of is that I am God. And tonight, I will be dead.
It's very intriguing dialogue.
Yes. If you guys can't get behind this book, you're in the wrong channel. You're watching the wrong people.
and
telling you right now, this is a fantastic book. You guys got to get on the ground floor of this. This is going to be stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is his next book coming up called Rabbit Man.
Look at that nice looking book. That's
is it on the screen? I can't see it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on. We're gonna put you big. Hang on. We're gonna get that out here.
That looks like a
big,
pretty hardcover right there.
Yeah.
Switch.
Wow.
The Kickstarter is for the lesser known comics re-release of the first issue, but as far as like me and publishing it myself, all 4 issues are right here. $30 hardcover, $16 softcover, like, and it came out so fucking awesome.
Nice.
It is beautiful.
Yeah.
How many pages is it?
Like 115.
Nice.
Yeah. And
Hell yeah.
it was super fun to do.
Show us a spread. What do you got? What do you got?
Spread. All right. Let me see.
Oh, yeah. Oh yes. Look at that.
That kind of reminds me of Jonan Vasquez a little bit. Are you familiar with him?
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
That one page in particular.
That is gorgeous. You guys have to get your hands on this.
Yeah, that's very cool.
This is actually based on a true story. This panel
Really?
here. Yeah. Especially the like I can't stop whacking it. Okay. I'm not gonna name any names or say anything, but my sister was out in New Orleans getting some flour, and the police showed up to take the flour away. So one of her friends shoved it up his ass, and it evaporated and like let loose in his ass. So he got about like a whole ounce of cocaine through his butt, and he ran off. And they looked for him for 3 days, and they found him in the levee in the sewer, jerking off for petrol, and he couldn't stop. The end.
That's
So, yeah.
a fantastic story.
That sounds like some Phoenix, Arizona shit right there.
Very deserving of a comic book. Yes.
Yeah, like Mouse Man is just all of my white trash shenanigan stories that I had nowhere else to go with.
That is fantastic.
It is really fun. It was a really fun and different book to do, but everything will be back on track shortly with the magnificent Rabbit Man. Like, it actually helped me.
Go ahead. It helps you when?
It helped me with like naming conventions. Instead of just Rabbit Man, there's the apathetic Mouse Man, or the immortal Mouse Man, which will be the next one, or the magnificent Rabbit Man.
It looks like a game. Your logo looks like it's out of a video game.
I've done those too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got something really good for you. It's processing.
Oh,
Processing.
okay.
I don't know how long it'll take. Go ahead, continue.
Your story is endearing about the cocaine who couldn't stop whacking off.
Thank you.
Sometimes it happens. You just can't stop. You know, you want to get to that finish. Oh, here he goes.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. What are you wiping the windows?
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. That's nice and shiny.
Well, it's a 78.
Yeah, it's looking good. Looks really good.
Yeah, it's got original paint, too. I mean,
Yeah.
people that owned this thing before me must have put the thing away in its Long Island, New York garage every day of its life.
Oh, go figure. Look at this. Oh, look at
Got it
this.
for $700.
Have you seen that guy? He goes around. It's been like several years since he was popular. He goes, "Look at this," and he just says
Look
it
at that.
as many
Look at
times
that.
as he can.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Just look at this. Look at that.
Oh my God. I'm gonna start doing that to people now.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Look
at you look at that.
Look at that. Carlos wants to know who printed your hardcover.
Amazon.
Oh.
It is on. There's Amazon KDP, which is where I just self-publish all of my stuff. All 6 issues of the original Rabbit Man, which is a weird-shaped comic book. It's like widescreen. And all 4 issues of Mouse Man and the graphic novel of all 4 issues are all just on Amazon.
That would be an interesting topic to cover.
Ooh, Dustin has
Amazon.
some here. I had a stalker once. It was really fucking weird. She was one of my friend's mom. I don't know why he has to write me like a story. I guess he's gonna write me a story. She was one of my friend's moms. I'm gonna charge you for reading this. I've had 6 of these like fucking.
There's a lot to say.
Apple pies, and like
Oh.
dude, you're testing my speech right here. He moved out and cut contact because she was crazy. She tried to get me to move in, and then told me she thought I was sexy and wanted to screw me while her husband was sleeping in the next area. Crazy comes from both sexes. I had to have my manager at my job escort her away from my job back then and have her banned. It was definitely a weird conversation to have with my friends since I had been staying the night.
Oh boy.
Wow.
There you go. That's the next Mouse Man right there. Just had some cocaine in it.
Tell story right there, I think.
We could call that one oh geez, I don't know. Stalker Man.
Stalker Man. He's just like he's like a Discord moderator, like Discord moderator man.
Discord moderator man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's writing a Discord.
That'd be like a really fucked up like video game. Like
I'm gonna say that till the day I die. Eric July has fucked me up. Like every time anyone ends something with man, I'll be like, yeah, like he's writing it. Eric July fucked me up.
Sorry, he was on a good creative note. It'd be an interesting video game. How do you mean?
It's sort of like Mario, where it's like save the princess, but it's like a Discord moderator, and you have to save the kitten. And it's just like really fucked up. Like I once came up with an idea for a game called Granny's Offer Meds, and it's just like a beat 'em up. Like she just like isn't on her meds, and she just starts beating the shit out of people, and it's like Double Dragon.
See,
Dustin says, "Take it out of my next
fun.
artwork I do for you." Okay, I will.
Nice. Hell yeah, we will.
It's gonna be 50 cents, bitch.
Dustin, you'll definitely be doing more artwork for us. We're excited.
Yeah, have you seen Dustin's art? Like, Dustin is fantastic, dude. Like, he did a G Busters cover for us. Well, actually, he's done like 3. I think.
2 G Busters.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Granny is running around beating everyone with a walker. He says, Trey and I were talking about grannies. Man, there's a granny that beats up the kid a little bit at the beginning of Trip's story. She hits him with a hanger a couple times.
Yeah, beats the shit out of him with a hanger.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that one picture of Dustin's cover, but I can't find it. I know I posted it.
Which one?
The team shot.
Oh, I could send it to you.
It's on my Facebook. I'm sitting here trying to find it.
It's on my Twitter too.
Oh, here it is. I got it. Boom! I'm good.
Is Trip Story like based off of people's actual stories from their trips, like that thing, like Tales from the
No. It's a complete parody that I guess it could be based off my trips. In a way, it kind of might be. I back in the day,
the first time hearing about this.
long time ago. I'm pretty sure there's not a drug that I haven't tried. Or done at least once.
Oh yeah,
except heroin. I never fucked with heroin.
No, that's too much.
Yeah, other than that, I'm pretty sure I've done had my foray in pretty much everything. And
in your youth,
yeah. So I would say that it could be.
And maybe you don't remember.
I would say maybe there's some elements in that story that are more accurate than not.
Yeah, like I will admit my brain's a lot fuzzier than it used to be. Because during 2020, that was the time I got like really, really good acid. Because I did it before, but it was bad. It just made everything all wobbly.
Dude, the one time I did acid, it was during Christmas, and I was in Phoenix for the first time. It was like circa 2003, 2004, and it was Christmas time. And it doesn't snow in Phoenix, but that day it did. And all the garden gnomes were running around people's yards, and the Christmas lights were coming to attack me.
Oh my god.
It was so much fun.
I couldn't even fucking move. Like I was just like in bed and like the walls were melting and I like looked at my hands and they were like turning into old man hands and then baby hands and then I got fly vision and then I was just like and couldn't move. It was like the walls were melting and making faces at me and shit.
Well, here you go. This is a G-Busters cover that Dustin Tyree did for us.
Oh, that looks fucking awesome.
It
If
is
you guys ever want
beautiful.
one-
Lots of ass. I requested lots of ass, and he gave me a total of 8 butt cheeks, so I couldn't complain.
Zoom in.
I don't know if I can. I will try.
Okay. What are you saying?
It doesn't work. Like it. I'm sorry, it doesn't work.
Okay.
Let's see if I can open it in a new tab.
What were you saying, Mike?
I'll share that one.
If you guys ever want to cover art or anything like that, you just like let me know. Cause like I'm usually just either at work or sitting here drawing. So
Trip story is something we want to continue.
Look at all that detail.
I could see you doing a good trip story cover for us in the future.
I was about to say, like, trip stories sounds like something I could do with, no pun intended, flying colors.
Awesome.
There you go. I zoomed in, Mindy. Is that an okay shot?
I wasn't actually suggesting you zoom into the ass, but I was going. But look at their hair. So I pointed this out to him when he sent it to me. I love how he did the line work on their hair and then also the background and the demon's face. Look at those. He did a very good job bringing out the depth with his line work in that. So, yeah. And that's going
to be a really good cover.
The grotto at the top.
Inside the grotto of the Playboy Mansion, and if you know the lore of the Playboy Mansion, the grotto is like a segment. It's like an underground pool that's in the side, the east wing of the grotto. The east wing of the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Oh, it's the lore of the Playboy Mansion is fantastic. If you want to delve into it.
I like how he made the rocks as you go up. It looks like they're actually coming towards you in the ceiling because it's round.
Yeah.
You see that right there? Yeah,
right
you
there.
See it.
Yeah,
It
they're all
comes
bigger
at you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a great study of perspective.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good.
And trip story, we just hit 81% fulfilled today. I have 5 more labels I got to create today, and then we're at a standstill because we're waiting for the other specialty covers to come in. But we still want to continue that title. It didn't do nearly as well as Boobs. Boobs was a huge
I
hit,
am not stopping Trip Story until I get to put out Cocaine Batman.
Yeah, there's
yes.
Yeah, Cocaine Batman. You heard
number
that.
2, Trip Story number 2 is going to be fantastic. It is going to be a parody on, like, they're going to start getting into heroin, right? And they go on a heroin trip, and it is all DC related type stuff. Like they're going to meet the Joker. Like one of the characters is going to turn into the Joker, and then one of the characters is going to turn into Mr. Freeze, and there's going to be some villains, and there's going to be Ozzy Osbourne is going to like be circumnavigating the whole thing and snorting fucking fire ants off the ground. Like, dude, it's going to be fabulous.
I want to see the Death Star come in. They all like take a ride.
Oh,
because they're all toys.
No, the Death Star comes in. That aspect comes in Trip Story 3. Trip Story 3 I've already got planned out, and that's going to be Meth Superman.
Yes.
Meth Superman.
Yes.
How about, can John Constantine show up with his trench coat and be like the dealer? Or like the dealer, just an homage to John Constantine?
I could make that happen for you.
Yeah. It's kind
of... Trip Story. Do you know Nicholas C. Gray?
No.
He does Headache comics, and he currently works with Robert Crumb and Robert Crumb's son. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He would do a fucking phenomenal fucking cover for that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be fun. It's a concept we can really play with and have a lot of fun with.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Let us see his work. Yes.
Let me see. Headache comics. Here we go. Yeah, it's like the old like acid comics from the 60s and 70s. Here is. I've been trying to work with him, but our schedules have never lined up.
We are over 300 followers right now on our next project. This is going to be our next one real quick. It is G Busters, the one I was just talking about. We're going to have glow-in-the-dark covers, all that good stuff. Country girl Katie inherits the Hugh Hefner Playboy Mansion, only to discover that it's haunted with the ghosts of its previous inhabitants, who happen to be dead porn stars. It is going to be fantastic. Right now, we are at 303 followers on Kickstarter. If you haven't clicked that button, notify me on launch. Please be sure to do that.
I sent this to the private chat. This is Nicholas C. Gray's work.
We will pull that up right now.
I could see you as well, Mike, doing a very nice Trip Story cover for us. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's got a feel to it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Oh, Headache. That's a very fitting name. Wow, very. Yes, I like the branding. That's very trippy. For sure.
Yeah, this dude's like fucking phenomenal. He's also like, I think it's like one of the only. I'm pretty sure he does more, but this is one of the only like guys that has like a connection with Robert Crumb that I'm friends with. Like, all of it's like fucking weird. It's a vibe. That's pretty much the only way I could describe it.
It is vibey. I think I might have seen his stuff before. It kind of looks familiar, that page.
Yeah, my favorite cover that we did on Trip Story was, I'll pull it up.
Trip Story printed great. The Barbie cover's printed slightly dark. I meant to mention that on my update, and I didn't catch it, but it has a half-tone pattern on it, which is where that comes from. But still, it was.
There you go, Mike.
It was fine though, I think, and it looked nice.
Oh,
these.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's ours, dude.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
All the covers turned out super bright.
We got Anthony Apodaca that did this one. Mindy got that one done. We got Andrew Thomas who did this one. Andrew Thomas is the same guy that did Blunt Man and Chronic and Quick Stop Comics for Kevin Smith. He did this variant for us. It's a homage to Detective Comics 134, I think.
Mm-hmm. And the way that one printed was that it really does look aged.
Yeah,
I was really impressed with that.
One.
Yep, that's by Trey Williams is his last name.
And then Mindy did an action figure cover for it, which is cool.
He's got a detachable joint, and he's straight out of Gary. Just so
right
knows.
there. There's a joint he can use. Look at that. Look at that joint.
Oh my god!
He's got a tattoo of a teardrop under his eye too.
Yeah. And then we have that ass Barbie cover. Ooh.
Yeah, and the blank. There's the Barbie. Do you only have the topless one up? You should have the topless and the regular.
Oh, they're all there. You can go and you can switch between them.
Oh, no, okay. I don't usually use that feature, but that makes sense. Yep.
And we got the Andy for being gay variant.
The story behind that cover is that someone at random messaged me a few months ago and said that Mike was too toxically masculine and that they were just letting me know like I was supposed to do something about his toxic masculinity. But he wasn't a customer of ours. He just messaged me out of the blue. And then I said, "Are you a customer?" And he said, "No." I said, "Are you?"
And I was like, "Mindy, tell him quit being gay."
Yeah. And I did. And it was the funniest thing I did. I almost peed my pants. We laughed so hard. And then he just blocked me.
Justin says, you ever watch Will Ferrell as the devil from Saturday Night Live while tripping on shrooms melting into the floor? Fuck me. Let me do a TMNT cover for Trip Story if you ever use them in the story. Hell yeah.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Sledhead says hi. Hi, Sledhead.
Hello, Sledhead.
The Andy cover, though.
And hey, that comes from years of experience of us dealing with people, they try to even get involved in our marriage. Like, but that's just the beauty of it. We've been here so long. Like, it doesn't really happen anymore. I think we went over the hill and we're on the other side. And now we're just in a very comfortable space where you really have to view the internet as an exterior world. And honestly, it's the Christian, it's like a proverb or it's a mentality that I think explains it the best, that the world
Proverb,
is just
not a
trash.
proverb, but yes.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Well, it talks about how the world is trash, right? You have to throw away the world. And then you have to just, live your life and understand that the world is not going to approve of you. It's not going to, and you have to be okay with it. The world is flawed. So whenever I think of the internet bullying, all this stuff, to me, it's through the lens of that. Is it proverb or proverb?
Proverb.
Thank you. And it's just the world. And that's what you have to do to get through internet.
You have
bullying.
to excuse Mindy. She has an Arizona education and she thinks Colosseum is correct.
Yes.
Not Coliseum, it's Colosseum.
That was just a misspeaking. I know what it is.
And she lived in Canada for like the first half of her life, so she's got that fucking redneck Canada shit mixed in with the southern shit, which makes her pretty much, you can't even understand half the shit she says.
Yeah. Well.
She's like, Mike, you never listen to me. I'm like, I don't understand what the fuck you're saying.
I do misspeak sometimes. I misspoke last night on the stream. I said flattered instead of flattering because they were talking about you and not me, and it sounded like I took the compliment. Sometimes I just say,
well, you take compliments easy. You've never been faulted with that.
Arizona is one of the worst in education in the whole country. Most people don't know that. But I had to re-educate myself, and I did, so I'm okay now.
The world is definitely trash. I hide in the bathtub to continuously wash it all away. What else do you do in the bathtub, Dustin? Sometimes you read words, but you never hear them spoken. I'm guilty of that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Exactly. That's exactly right. But that is my biggest lesson. Anyone ever having a hard time with internet bullying, it's just the world. And it's funny how more times than not, there's some sort of Christian truth to it. Not that I'm a super religious person, because I'm not. But there are just some things that are true. And that is a very, very good way to look at the world. That's helped me a lot. Just that little piece of advice. So there you go.
While it drains. Is it a race against the clock?
Like I had like a kind of a sheltered life growing up, and even when I left home, I didn't really have like a smartphone or anything like that until I was like 18 or 19. And even to this day, like I just kind of use the internet as like a tool to get artwork out and to like look at cool stuff, but that's about it. All the people that I've met and call close friends, I met in person before I met online, except for Ryan. Yeah. Like I have like art friends and work friends online, but most of everyone in my life I've met in person. Like I've never really gotten into like internet dating or anything like that. And whenever anyone ever says some shit about like my art and stuff, I either just block them or tune them out.
I have people message me all the time, all kinds of people. And I think that's partly from putting my work out on, well, it's 100% from putting my work out on the internet, because I don't put myself out on the internet in any personal capacity at all. It's all funny. Related to comics.
Now watch CG make it about themselves somehow.
Oh, yeah. It's just a mess. It's hot mess.
Always. What else we got here? How are you going with the Ellie Mae book idea?
You guys need to talk. I know that we were busy this Saturday. We went to see
yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, because you're not good with the names. This is Epic Fantasy from Twitter. I sent you his Twitter. I don't want to say your name because it's the internet, but you guys need to talk about that book He sent through the
You
Google
can say my
Drive
name on
pictures.
Twitter. It's at
Not
Real Shy
you.
Outlaw.
No,
Oh.
not you.
Oh.
You guys need to talk. That's all I'll say is and Mike's not very good at messaging people to talk. So
No, you gotta message me,
Message
man.
him.
I got
message
I'm
him
horrible at it.
because that's in Mike's ball court of what you guys what he wants to know more details and stuff about the publishing.
Oh, this is the guy that was talking to us about publishing his book that you mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know it's starting to click. We've had a very busy weekend. We haven't been able to answer. We did get a lot of work done this weekend, but it's been hard to sit in one place to do it. Yeah. You guys, you just need to talk and figure it out and see what you want to do. I'm hungry.
I wasn't really into the publishing game, but we'll see.
We are a publisher. I mean,
I'm a publisher in my own.
Taking on other people's people's things as it's something we want to do responsibly.
I think a lot of people think that, and I'll talk about this right now. And I'll tell you exactly what it is. A lot of people think that if you go with a publisher, that you're automatically going to get some modicum of success. That's not the case. If your shit is good, you should be able to do it yourself and get it out there yourself and have no problems doing that.
And he does, by the way, who you're talking to does.
Yeah.
He's
I'm just saying this in general.
Yeah, I would say
for anybody.
In general. Mm-hmm.
In general. So a publisher is not the answer. A publisher is just someone that's going to get in your pocket and take a cut of something that you do. I don't like people getting in my pockets taking cuts of what I do. That's why I publish my own books. I want all the money to come to me instead of going to a percentage here and a percentage there and, getting it filtered down. And then I'm left with the check. And pretty soon I'm like Larry Higgins running Niobe, getting 25 cents for every book that's sold. And I don't want to be that way. I want to get all the money from all the books that sold. So, whenever you go through a publisher, you're still going to be responsible for the same amount of work that you would do yourself. You're still going to be responsible for selling the book, for getting it printed, for doing all of this stuff. I mean, the publisher, all they're going to do is like slap their little logo on your book and then take money out of your pocket. I mean, if that's something that you want, sure, I need boats. I like boats. You can buy me a boat, but do you really want to?
Yeah. Again, that his case is specific. You'll talk more about it to him later.
Yeah,
but for the people,
that's just in general.
In general, yeah, it's
for
true.
Other people, that's like why would you do that? I don't know.
This is the time for indies, for new titles. So I definitely would recommend self-publishing. I'd love to one day get into. I mean, we've already been here for several hours, so I won't do it tonight. But Mike Sears, Mike, you said you go through Amazon, and I've always been sort of curious about doing that, and lots of people I think are. So I'd love to pick your brain about that more.
It's a little bit more expensive than what you would do going through another place like China, but you don't have to worry about minimum orders and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's the main difference.
It has gotten better over the years because it originally started as a separate website called Create Space, and I still have the first comic I did through that. It was from this comic strip I did called Kid and Hannibal when I was like 16, and over the years they've gotten way better, way more high quality, as you can see, but it's actually not that hard. It actually helps you with editing pages and like borders of the pages and stuff like that. But the thing is pricing, because with this is $30, but I get $10 a copy, which isn't bad, but they still take $20 out of it.
Yeah.
For like printing it and shipping and stuff like that. I think there was one, I don't remember which one. I think I get like I think it was like Joe the Janitor or something, and I get like 16 cents an issue. So unless you're selling like like hand over fist, you're not going to make any fucking money unless you already have an audience that wants to buy it. But aside from that, as far as making sure everything that you put out is yours and there's just like another way for people to get it, because there's other options, like there's Kablam, digital printing. I don't know what else there is.
I'm
pretty sure there's other stuff.
You can't get a hold of anybody at Kablam on the phone, and I don't work with anybody who does that.
Yeah, I have
That's
only
my
used
rule.
them once.
If I can't talk to you on the phone, you're not getting my fucking money. Fuck off.
Yeah. And I've heard some horror stories as well, so I don't know. I haven't tried them, but as far as other options, I don't know what else there is. But sorry, go on.
But Amazon is the only like print-on-demand service that I know where you can just upload your book and people can just buy it and they'll print it and everything's fine. They just take a obscene amount of the money, but it gets out there. I've been trying to find another print-on-demand service that works like that, but I cannot find one. I think there's like Goodreads and stuff like that. But when you put it on Amazon, depending on how much you make, they also put it up on like Barnes and Noble and stuff like that. So it goes out to like 5 different websites all at once.
That's not too bad. That's curious. It'd be something that maybe I would try one day.
Well, we're already on Amazon, hon.
We did.
Thing is, with our books, we have a lot of adult content, and Amazon doesn't host that shit.
Yeah, we have the magazine up on there, but it's
but
only
the Comics Illustrated magazine is on Amazon, and we get dividends from that every month.
It's only Kindle though, like it's only digital, I believe. Yeah, we don't do print on demand with them, is what I mean.
Because I want people to come to me for the print.
Yeah,
and buy it from me instead of giving Amazon their cut.
I have to say, Amazon in person are dicks.
Yeah.
I don't know about like I can't say the delivery people, they're just delivery drivers, but driving trucks and semi trucks and going to their warehouses, the biggest dicks in the whole country are Amazon and what's that chicken or pork company, Smithfield? Mike? Smithfield. Yeah, them. Those guys. Them, Tyson, and maybe the guys that do broccoli down in like Yuma, Arizona. But by far, like who has a stick up their butt is Amazon. Tyson and them are just horrible with like wait times and they're jerks. But Amazon are jerks, and they have like these like a power hungry control complex. Like, well, okay, one time. And they'll just throw the books around. They just don't care about you. I went in there, I was driving the truck just to turn around because they have big parking lots, and this guy comes up with a vest, and he's like the and it's like this at every warehouse.
He's Captain Save-A-Ho with a flashlight.
He's Captain Save-A-Ho. He's Captain Direct Traffic, and you're not allowed to like go anywhere that he doesn't tell you. He comes out and he's like, whoa, or whatever. And he says, I can't turn around. And I'm like, dude, there's no one here. You have a giant parking lot. And he goes, no, you have to go around the parking lot, through the warehouse, like through the gate, and this huge thing, go all the way around only to get back to what's like the thing that's staring in front of me. It's just like every other parking lot, except it's huge. You can just go right in and out that way. And he's telling me by some law of Amazon, there's nobody there, that I have to go all the way around. And I said okay, and then he got up and he's sitting in his car waiting for me, and I just went zoom, and I hit the gas, and I just went out the same way I came anyway.
And she's laughing the whole time. She's like,
It's so fun. He can't tell me what to do. He's not a cop. It's funny. That's so funny. God. That's my favorite moment in the whole truck.
Take care, Dustin. We're about to wrap it up too, man.
Yeah.
We've been on for like freaking 4 hours almost. It's getting crazy. We got 613 people watching. I hate to kill it, but I mean it is getting late.
Yeah, it is. No. I need to eat dinner.
Oh man, Ed Piskor, yeah, his obituary is live. Wow.
Obituary. I'm gonna look it up. Those aren't his last words. You're talking about something else.
No, it's like his family statement, saying who he survived by.
Oh.
Yeah,
It
and then
is.
EBS
It
just
is.
got done making fun of this whole thing.
Yeah. So someone should ask CBS about him saying that it was supposed to be an April Fool's joke. There it is. At swgfuneralhome.com/obituary/Edward R.
Hey, send me that link. I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Lasmat DM'd you too. Oops, I posted it in the chat for some reason. Here, put it
DM
in
me on
that
Twitter.
chat. It's in the private chat. There's his obituary. That's sad. Gosh.
Oh shit.
It is. Passed away unexpectedly. Passed away unexpectedly.
He is survived by his loving parents, Edward R. Sr. and Diane Piskor, cherished siblings, Robert, Justine, Brianna, treasured nieces and nephews. Ed was a gifted artist and cartoonist. He was best known for his New York Times bestselling Eisner Award-winning series, The Hip Hop Family Tree. He has also received critical acclaim for his miniseries X-Men Grand Design. Family and friends will be received on Thursday. So yeah, EVS, you piece of fucking shit.
Oh, hey, read the comments down below. This is interesting. There's people. Do you see that? Aaron Fisher's the first comment. Yeah.
That's Barry Tan.
I'm gutted. I'll never be able to show you the comics you gave me the courage, inspiration, and passion to create. I'll cherish the moment I got the big laugh out of you at Baltimore Comic-Con 2023. Today I got the print I bought from you framed. You have a spot with Jack looking over me while I keep making comics. Ed's light art and intimate knowledge of his passion was unlike any other. He was an original American, and there will never be another like him. The loss is a great tragedy, and his memory will live beyond the tragedy because of the people who found solace, enjoyment, and education in his work and efforts. My heart to his loving family and closest friends. He was kind to me, gave me tips on how to draw. His channel revived my desire to make comics. Interesting. I was struggling hard as an artist from Brian. Trying to kickstart my freelance career as an illustrator, and finding Ed and Jim on YouTube absolutely changed my life. I watched their channel religiously and followed their work in every capacity I could. In particular, Ed's passion and drive and enthusiasm and work ethic and his positive make your own opportunities attitude was a lightning bolt of inspiration to me. Thanks to Ed, I stopped being worried and scared about what to do and how to do it in terms of getting my own career. And he buckled down in practice. It's crazy. He was a huge inspiration for this guy. The artist community lost a great talent and a passionate flame. There's a lot of people. These things are just keep coming. Oh my gosh, there's a lot. Dan Fraga. Man, this is the worst. There's a ton of comments. And so far, this is all positive. So sorry for your loss. Wow. And this is why you can't just innocent before proven guilty, folks. You gotta give people the chance to go through their stuff and their fair trial before you mob them on the internet because of something you heard. This is the consequence of that. Oh, Lasmat. I'm sorry, buddy. Easy Pass Kyver blocked me. I think that we're actually blocked too. Now, I blocked him a long time ago, but moment of silence for Ed.
Wow.
No one should
All right,
lose.
guys.
their life because of bullying online. So yeah, we should wrap it up.
It's a hell of a day, guys.
Yeah. Well,
all right, guys,
also,
we're out.
Before I just want to say, I know that sometimes I have a really bad tendency to talk over people. If you catch me doing that, you can just tell me to shut up.
Oh no, you've been great.
You've been great. I hope I don't talk over you either. It's the internet. We all do the best we can.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you, Mike.
It's been a pleasure being here.
All right, guys, let's have a better day tomorrow. What do you think?
Oh, yeah.